A bit of a slap in the face early in the morning, right? They had a wake-up call to start things off. And, you know, honestly, I think that's a great thing for a top team like GAMBIT to come into a tournament and have a nice little warm-up for themselves. So I'm fully expecting this squad to come into this series looking clean and polished. I don't want to see any of those shenanigans, those close maps like that Icebox versus Secret. And for Vikings side, it's all about Saucy, right? I mean, I know that Ball is going to be disappointed because he's not on the Sova. He's, in fact, on the Breach this time around. But let's see what kind of aggression these Vikings team brings out to the table for this pistol.
So are you are not in the 2-1 camp. You're thinking we get out of here quick.
I'm hopeful that it's not. But you know, I mean, just historically, yeah, I think GAMBIT, they should be able to take this one 2-0.
And I think you kind of alluded to it, Potter. I think it's important for a team that has championship winning aspirations to be able to get through some of these things perhaps a bit cleaner than some might expect. So I do think you're right on the side of GAMBIT. Like, that's your moneymaker, man. You're in here statistically. This is a team that you should be beating. Get in, get the job done, and get out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you can see that the spike is still down for the GAMBIT side as they just kind of push back the defenders in mid. They do have ropes control, and you can see that the spike's now been collected by that Killjoy. He's going to go ahead and meet back up with his mates back towards A. So this is looking like it's going to be an A split. We're down to 40 seconds on the clock here.
Yeah, and you've got Redgar playing in a position to cut off rotations. A great start out from GTN, though, because that's the thing. Like, GAMBIT had established heaven control, right? They had that to them, and losing them up there, I mean, is a big deal. We'll see if they're able to continue to double down on it. Redgar's going hunting. He's not just worried about cutting off rotations. He wants to cut things off way earlier off, but Sonic gets 2 big openers as well. GAMBIT, I don't know they're going to be able to get onto the site. Yeah, Redgar dealt some damage over by B, but that's really all he had, and that leaves Shados in a pretty brutal 1v4.
Ooh, dominant stuff there. And it didn't look like that's how it was going to go, right? Because GAMBIT just had so much real estate. The fact that they had full ropes control. And you saw Redgar pivot. He deviated from his squad, went back up towards B heaven ropes, and that was supposed to be the distraction. You mentioned it, Doug. He was not only there to cut off rotations, but he was there to keep the defenders towards B, right? But unfortunately, the entries, it did not go the GAMBIT way. And Vikings, strong start. And a needed one as well to get this pistol.
Well, I think we've got to touch on Sadok's utility position there, right? Like dropping that nanoswarm down under Hell, then the other utility that pushed him into that spot was just kind of in a terrible situation to be in. Sadok walked away with 2 there. We'll see what GAMBIT can do. Not much as far as forcing up goes. They're just bringing pistols into this one.
Yeah, things have just slowed down. There is a Sheriff in play, Doug. There is a Sheriff. It's on Defo's back, and Defo, well, all right, good night.
That was Caster Curse 101. Right there.
I've done it to him.
Oh, Redgar
damage.
Yeah, Redgar got tagged up by that as well. Oh, and they know where he is. You gotta go, guy. You gotta go. He had a gravity well on the other side of him, too. There was nowhere to run as GAMBIT just continued to kind of get picked apart here. And for Vikings, you want to get out of this round as cleanly as you can, and that's certainly not what you want to see. Nats gets the Sheriff upgrade. Chronicle has one as well.
All of a sudden, Doug, this is a 2v2. That's clean for Sudakas. A freebie for sure, and some breathing room here for Vikings at least. Chronicle. He's still got a Sheriff on his back, but just 23 HP, and with the spike down, surely this is it.
Yeah, he's going to have to go absolutely insane to pull this bad boy off. You mentioned he only has 23 HP. I think additionally, Vikings know where the spike is. They're really kind of posted up right around it. The delay. So even if he somehow got past these 2 players and got the spike, he wouldn't have very much time to get the spike down. So a clean start out from Vikings, and it's been methodical, right? Like minus that blunder there in round 2 where it got to a 2v2 when it probably never should have been.
Yeah.
It's been clean for Vikings.
It has. I'm having a tough time saying it's been clean just because for me, you know, look, if they come out and lose the next round, they're going to be money broke. They're going to be economy broke for the next 3, right? So for Vikings, certainly a perfect world would have been that at least they get 3 alive so they can continue on with this actual bonus. They're going to have to really play this one conservative. You can see just a Ghost, Armor, Sheriffs, and those saved Spectres on the back of Vikings here. And full purchase here for GAMBIT. And look how aggressive Defo is.
Well, and it was off the gravity wall that was there. They had the setup that they wanted, and it was off of FRZ peeking mid. So Defo goes hunting, tries to find something, and there was just too much firepower on the other side.
Need that back.
Unfortunate stuff. I wonder, was there a bird that Defo was following. I missed that, but certainly Defo felt like he could absolutely capitalize on that space. Love that sort of aggression. It doesn't work out for him this time around. And for Gambit, they're just, that barely missed him. Barely missed him. Nats doing Nats things, taking over this A heaven control. And this should eventually allow the Sky, you can see towards mid, either they're going to meet up together and create some sort of a heaven control, A heaven split, or Nats is just going to create a distraction and he's going in.
Well, yeah, and the alarm bot that was there gave his position away. That triggered the fault line, and you're right, he went in to try to find some of that, but Vikings, they had all of their bases covered in a sense to kind of catch Nats going in there. That's going to force Gambit to turn their attention towards B, and it's kind of worked out so far as Chronicle was able to get the opener. There was a ghost back site, and it was good to take care of Redguard, but not much more. That should allow Gambit to get onto the site and get the spike down, but the question is, are they going to be able to hold it? They have the weapon advantage in a pretty considerable manner too, right? Like Sassy only has a Sheriff, no armor to work with either. If they can keep the members of Vikings at bay, they should be able to get onto board here, Potter.
They should. Sky used a flash a little bit early, wasn't able to capitalize off that. Not any more utility left here for Gambit. Shadows, he's going to have to get this kill.
Shadows. That was kind of scary to look at, but Chronicle. All right, so Chronicle was able to get one. Shadows, he's going to have to force his way out of garage. Sadak swinging around. One kill, but doesn't get the second as Sadak got it to half, and he's going to get the defuse. Vikings up big.
What a round, barely surviving. 2 HP to Sadok's name. That is gonna hurt. I mean, Gambit were just so close, right? Not only were they close, but they had the ultimate superior buy. You could just clearly see it across the board. Yep. We mentioned it, right? Vikings, they had a Ghost, they had a Sheriff, and 2 Spectres on their name, no ultimates. And the fact that Gambit aren't able to convert that one, that's gonna hurt. I forget the exact statistic out there, Doug, but it's something wild. If you're unable to convert that bonus, I mean, I think it's something like 70% of the time the team that wins that bonus wins the entire map. So for Gambit, again, we talked about their slow start on day one. The fact that map 1, they were getting bullied in that server on Ice Sheriff split. It's supposed to be a whole map. It's supposed to be a comfort pick for them. And it's a slow start for Gambit.
Yeah, they've got to get out of the gates. They've got to get past this like trudging mud that it feels like they're working their way through at the beginning of the tournament. And so far, this isn't the start that they wanted. You mentioned economy on the side of Vikings in the previous round. Because they were able to convert that, the concerns have been assuaged as far as what they're bringing in. They do have full rifles. They do have full armor and a good bit of utility to work with as well. So great start out from Vikings for Gambit. It's been tough treading. They do have a little bit to punch back with. They also have Chronicles lockdown, but Sadak has this as well.
Yeah, and all 5 members of Gambit here are very much grouped together. Decent paint shells. It slows things down, at least keeps Gambit at bay. But here we go, round 2. They're coming back towards B heaven, and oh man, this Killjoy utility is just so perfectly layered. Sky Flash is going to come in, and the Jet dashes in.
Defo's got to find an opener. Sadak able to take care of Redguard and Nats as they try dropping down. Sadak finds a third before getting dropped himself. Numbers advantage still in favor of Vikings, although Shadows might have something to say about it. He's already got 2 on the round. How much more can he get? Spike down, 10 seconds. Sudakash dropping down. He's going to have to pull off this 1v2 to make it happen. Dancing around the utility, not able to get anything. Vikings get to 4.
I feel so sorry for whoever Redguard, or Sudakash rather, just killed. Just kind of gliding off that rope, shimmying across, landing, and just getting and finishing the kill. Beautiful stuff for Vikings. I mean, these are feel-good rounds for this squad, you know? And we came into this series talking about the underdog story. Vikings not having proven themselves quite yet on an international stage such as this, but man, oh man, what a start. You couldn't have asked for a better start if you're Vikings here.
Now, if you're Gambit, what needs to change? But you've had gun rounds, you've had advantages, you've had situations where you should be winning rounds and you're not. What needs to change? What needs to be different?
Yeah, maybe just the go button, right? Because what we're seeing Gambit, they're getting the map control. They're constantly putting themselves in the right positions. We've seen them all the way deep in A heaven. We've seen them deep in B heaven. We've seen them drawing out that utility. But that go button, once they have that control, once they're hitting the site and execing, it's been kind of wishy-washy. A couple players going in, the Sky Flash, the timing. It hasn't been quite as clean as we know and love about this Gambit squad.
attack has been lackluster up until this point, and Vikings, they've been very glad to take space as well. We saw at the opener of the round there, they pushed into Garage, they put the wall up in order to get the ult orb into FRC's hands, so they understand what their plan is at the beginning of every round. Like, they know what they want to do, and they've been able to execute it.
Yeah, things are just really slow. This is very much reminding me of that pistol round of, you could see Chronicles there, just biding his time. He's got the spike on his back, and again, he's rendezvousing back up with his teammates back towards A, and as the jet in the sky, they're just faking this B heaven.
That should draw the util out. Nice dash away to stay alive, but you're right, it is all a fake. It's just enough to draw out utility. So they got a good bit of that out. They got the paint shells, they got the slow orb as well. Now they can turn their attention towards A, where they should be playing off of the lockdown. It's going to be countered by one of their own. Redgar creeping his way forward onto the site, trying to find some space to work with some room to breathe. This Defo's up in heaven, providing cover fire. Both going to go off, and it looks like both teams should be able to get away unscathed. The stalemate, a gentleman's agreement, if you will, and now things are open. Now both teams press go, and now the kill feed lights up. 4 seconds left. Chronicle looking to get the spike down, should be able to do so. A 3v2 in favor of Vikings. Rolling Thunder coming out, and he's been knocked up into high heaven, but the Nanoswarm provides enough cover for Chronicle to get two, but he's not quite done with the job. Sudakas has to go in aggressive. The Viper split comes down, and he's not taking the bait. He's going to wrap his way around. He might get the timing on this Potter, but he's got to land it just right. Not able to land the shots. Chronicle, huge there for Gambit as they get on the board.
Huge, huge, huge indeed. Chronicle, the fact that he's breach ulted, stuck in the site all alone. His teammate is all the way back towards the ramps, can't even hand him any sort of help. The Molotov comes in at a key time. The fact that he makes that clean kill onto Saucy, the adjustment into the air. I mean, that sort of verticality, that sort of adjustment in that sort of pressure, that is tough to do. Beautiful round for Chronicle here to just get Gambit their first needed round on the board.
And now we see how far they can take this train. Vikings on a very light buy, given one just went down, so this should be a situation where Gambit are able to rattle off a bit more. But with that said, we saw earlier in this map, Potter, where Gambit were in a position with pistols that they made it much closer than they should have. So hard to count out Vikings here. They also have two ultimates to work with. We'll keep an eye and see if they invest those, but their utility usage has been so good.
Yeah, and GTN, he's just one away from the showstopper. You talk about ultis. Defo, he's going to have to be extra cautious here, make these bullets count. Two members, Chronicle, he's good for one, but he gets immediately traded out. And look at the spike, Doug. No one is near it to pick it up.
That's the thing, Potter. 1-for-1s on the side of Vikings here. That feels good, right? Like, you take those. And that's all it's been, back and forth. They haven't been able to really lean into the gun advantage that they have. If you're trading kills, that's great for Vikings.
You take those. You absolutely take those. The spike finally gets collected by Defo, and he's going to meet back up into the site, but both defenders have made their way here. Again, Jesus, GTN, he's one away from the showstopper. Oh, he's definitely going to take some damage from this.
Good on Shados to open things up. GTN's going to have to be crispy with the Sheriff. That's crispy, but the dash forward, he had the showstopper, but he doesn't get a chance to fire it off. As it comes out dry, Gambit gets to two.
Oh, we talked about slaps in the face, and just then, GTN gets slapped in the face himself, Doug.
And he tried.
Yeah, and you know, that's such a feels bad. It takes so long to charge up that ultimate. Valiant effort. Close affair. And I mean, just think back of how this round started, right? Such a scrappy buy coming through here for Vikings as well.
For them to have gotten it as close as they did, yeah, man, like that's, I don't want to say concerning, it's a bit early to say that, but if you're Vikings, those are confidence rounds. You're back to a gun advantage.
Yeah, you certainly take notes of that. You certainly take notes. Defo is gonna go ahead and try to make his way through a timing here with that Viper's Q. And as I say that, the two defenders go ahead and back up.
I don't know that they're going to get a chance at contact on much of anything, and we have to keep an eye on that alarm bot on your mini-map. You see it just at the entry to go down into ropes. That really kind of counters the lack of information from the Viper's wall.
Yeah, it definitely does, but look at this. Look at the mini-map. I love this call coming up from Gambit. Every round thus far, in the first 30 seconds, it's been pressure towards A. That's where the pressure started. They're going to leave Nats there, and now majority of the Gambit members are rendezvousing back towards B here.
it's another, the Cosmic Divide comes out on A, it's another fake, but look at Vikings, look at the discipline, they haven't moved an inch, and it's probably because of the Killjoy utility that's telling them that, hey, this is not real, right? Like, the Killjoy turret has not gone off, the alarm bot hasn't gone off as well. You can't believe that Cosmic Divide, and that's why they stay put.
Yeah, you can't believe it. And the stopping power, that combo, the Sage slow, and the paint shells off of Race, it's just too damn much to deal with. So Gambit, they pivot, and they make their way back towards A. They're almost in the site, but Doug, there's only 20 seconds left on the clock.
Now this one's interesting because they double down on the fake again. That draws out the defensive Cosmic Divide. Now they're going to try to work their way towards A site. Sadok is going to have his hands full. Oh, yeah, he's got nothing. That should open the door for Gambit to get onto the site and get the spike down in time. Shadow's flashed up, and doesn't matter. Defo there to help as well. Sudakas, a lonely man right now.
Oh, beautiful shots coming in here. You know, in those moments, you just kind of flood in. The trades, the spacing at that moment, it's just all chaos. It's all hectic, it's all chaos. It's a matter of who comes out on top, and in that moment, it was absolutely Gambit. Vikings, they felt flustered. They felt like they had to catch up and get into the site and try to get some sort of a pre-take going before that spike even went down, but that in turn just kind of funneled them all into the same crosshair there, right at that screens.
And it was interesting to see, like, Gambit have established a reputation for waiting a bit later, right into the rounds before they really double down on what it is that they want to do and pull the trigger. But in this instance, they faked twice.
Yes.
And it wasn't just like, hey, I'm going to throw out a nade or a slow orb. They invested 2 ultimates to fake things off. Vikings, they were patient the first time, but the second time they bit.
Yeah, they certainly did. Nice little double pump coming through from Gambit. And you know, that's definitely going to be a topic we're probably going to be talking about a lot, Doug, throughout this entire series, is that stylistic difference. Vikings coming from Brazil. We know and love these South American teams for their aggression, being in your face and just really never backing down. And for Gambit and a lot of the EU teams, it's mostly discipline, right? Mostly slowing the pace down and punishing any of those overzealous, over-aggressive moments. So, oh, and we're going to invest into the Sky ultimate here. It's good to see that the team is taking things a lot more safe, even though it is a half buy, just some sheriffs. The economy is just not there, but, you know, you definitely want to take things safe here.
You wanted a bit more go button. That was probably the closest we've come to seeing an early go button, and even kind of through that, like, Vikings drop Chronicle. They have found some space. Oh, and if they get this timing, okay, Nats kind of tucked in this corner here, and I don't know that the members of Vikings are aware for it. It's pretty brutal crossfire too, as they're able to swing out. There's Defo. He was the safety valve. He was the insurance. If Nats dropped, that was desperately where they needed him. The heal's going to come up onto Defo. Now Vikings, they did upgrade a weapon, so I wonder if they may have a chance to do this thing or just kind of save off. No, they're doubling down, Potter. They're going. They've both upgraded weapons, but they're going to have to go fast. The thing is they have to check every corner.
Yeah, I don't think they're going for it quite. I think they're just containing at this point. They're just going to try to ruin some money, maybe get some kills, get those feel-good kills for themselves, even bolster up that those ultimate orbs. But yeah, at this point, it's just too far gone.
So with that, we talk about some of the smaller things in the game, right? They are Vikings. Upgrading both weapons, not just kind of punting on the round, but they were also able to hurt some of the economy of Gambit and carry a rifle their own into the next round. So, you know, we talk about economy, and, you know, there is a lot to be said about those minor decisions like that, and especially in a close half like this.
Yeah, definitely so. Every little thing counts. Every little thing counts, certainly. And you know, Gambit, that's 4 in a row for them. So for Vikings, certainly that point proves even more crucial here. Especially because Vikings had that 4-0 start. We'll see a lot of pressure this time. Everyone's fighting for mid.
Defo wants to go, Defo wants to find, and Defo does. And it was off of the Trailblazer, right? The Trailblazer followed, he swung out from Sewers. He were able to take mid space, and then the flash to get him into ropes to find the opener. That was pretty.
Definitely pretty. GTN, the jig hasn't been up. Oh, but he peeks right into Redgar's crosshair and just punished for that mid-round aggression. Look at these two. Just biding their time down in sewer. Look, if Defo goes down there, oh!
1, 2.
Whack-a-mole!
Man, just so good. So good. You can tell they were trying to wonder, how do we want to approach this? How do we want to do this? A Prime Gaming Flawless coming out from Gambit. exactly what the doctor ordered.
Exactly what the doctor ordered for sure. And you know, we just talked about it, the fact that stylistically both these teams are so different. I mean, if you take a look at Gambit in this round, there wasn't really a strat. They didn't even have to fight to get into the site. All they had to do was take some mid control, poke just a tiny bit, and sit and wait. And as long as retake, had Chronicle not had some insanely anime battle going on towards A and be able to come out on top of that breach ult. But look, that is probably going to be what Vikings lean onto here in the next couple rounds, is the fact that that breach ultimate's coming online. Sodic's ultimate as well with that Killjoy. This should bolster the Vikings' defenses up.
Like they're trying to push towards A main. Yeah, they've taken some of that space off of the fault line out from Sassy. As you mentioned, that's going to allow them to get the ult orb, so the Rolling Thunder now online. Gambit towards B for the earlier parts of the round.
Things have slowed down quite a bit. This time around, a bit of a different look. None of the Gambit members are towards A, applying any pressure. All 5 members are very much grouped in B, and Defo is in.
Not just in, he's up, he's down. He takes Sudicast down with him as he's gotten onto the back of the site. Just Sheriffs on the side of Vikings. What can you do with it? You've got the cover of the Viper's wall to provide them a bit of safety as Shadows continues to creep his way forward. Sassy, one. That's all he's gonna get, but the Sheriff, or excuse me, the Spike did go down as GTN gets a second.
Whoa.
A 2v2 here. They've got the lockdown too, Potter. I wonder if they commit it. You've got Redgar on this sneaky little flank, but the wall, the wall's gonna go down just in time. But Sodoc's waiting for it. He knows he's on top, not able to land the shots. Redgar takes care of him. It falls down onto GTN. He's already had a highlight shot so far, but he's not gonna get a chance at a second as Gambit hold the line for now.
What a close round. What a close round. And again, off the back of a Thrifty, one of those really low buys where, you know, again, those rounds, they are actually probably the most dangerous, especially on land, right? I mean, we talk about pressure, we talk about the pressures of the stage, the pressures of traveling, the pressures of facing up against the best teams in the world. Look, when you've got less on your back, less on your inventory, less to fight for, pressure's off, man. You get in there, you get involved, and you start taking a lot more risks. And so we're definitely seeing these low buy rounds just be wreaking havoc.
This is very similar to what we saw a couple of rounds ago from Defo. Again, the Trailblazer mid, Defo follows it up, but this time they Astra smoke ropes to give him some safe passage into Mail, but the wall goes up. Defo's antics are kept at bay for now.
Or his teammates are gonna go ahead and break that off for him. This should make the Vikings have to respond. They've got to react. There's the Astra Orb. Oh! Nice. Huge pickup. FRZ showing a little bit more than I think he intended there.
And see rotations right off of that. If you look at your minimap, you see both GTN and Sassy, they started to rotate back. They got halfway and then kind of thought things through again. But I know I've drawn attention to it, but Gambit's ability to manipulate what their opponents are thinking is so integral to their success. It's been their bread and butter. It was that way at Masters 3, and we're seeing some of that here now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if you're Redgar, if you're on Gambit, you're absolutely just thrilled about the fact that majority of these rounds so far, I believe, probably in the last 5 rounds, Gambit have had all 5 members alive by 30 seconds left in the round. They're defaulting extremely well. And the Killjoy ultimate's gonna go ahead and go down to try to defend off the speed.
Well, and that's the thing, right? That's another instance where Gambit is drawing out our ultimates with a fake. They draw out the lockdown towards B. There's nobody there. They invest their own Cosmic Divide. Now the Rolling Thunder coming out from Vikings as they're going to have their hands full. Sudicast again in a position where he's going to have to go huge. And so far, so good as Sudicast gets 2. Chronicle managing to get the spike down, but Sudicast has not been dealt with. The clip runs dry as he falls. Chronicle avoiding things there. 1v1 is all that's left, and Sadak, the savior for Vikings in this round, gets the defuse.
Incredible round here for Vikings. Saucy, the MVP within this round. I don't know if he even got a kill, but the utility that this man's brought into this round, he held off the hit. All of Gambit were funneled in that A-ramp. They got hit with the breach ult. They got hit with the fault line. They got hit with the flashbangs. Everything just delayed and bought time for those rotations to make it right in the nick of time. And what a fantastic hold here from Sudicast.
So big there, and then, you know, ultimately The rest of the team got him there, but he had to finish the job, right? In that 1v1 up top. I believe he had taken some damage too, so he certainly wasn't healthy. Just comes up absolutely enormous for Vikings, and it's good to see them, given the fact that they have lost, what, 5-6 rounds in a row. It's easy for a team to fold there, but they punch right back.
Punching up, swinging back, Doug. You love to see it. We're coming up to the last round of the half here, and Nats is back towards this A ramp. I think this is going to indicate that they do actually want to end A late.
You should run.
We've seen these defaults around before. The spike is down outside B, Gambit just taking their time. Interesting Killjoy ult towards mid here. I like this. This is really going to screw with the Vikings rotations once this is all done and over with.
Breach utility to clear it out. They invest. Oh my god. Oh no, they're going! GTN gets 2 off the showstopper. They were sitting ducks. They had nowhere to go. Now Gambit trying to figure out how do we approach this round. We've got members in towers. We only have the Bladestorm to work with as well. And Defo's so weak. They do have the spike. Maybe some Astro utility gets him through, finds him the safe passage onto the site, but you've got 2 members from Vikings there. The Cosmic Divide's going to fall out as well as Gambit creep their way forward. 30 seconds left. The Bladestorm comes online. Nats. Oh, GTN, you're not quite done yet, are you? Still playing backside. Defo's got to find some value with that thing. There we go. That's exactly what they needed. A 2v2 is all that remains. Make that a 2v1. Sassy, you mentioned it, Potter, the MVP in a position to go huge for his team. Again, great flash, but Nats gets 4. Gambit gets to 7.
What a recovery, Doug. I cannot believe this round. The fact that I thought GTN was going to get 3 with his showstopper there. As soon as his little head popped over that Astra smoke, he saw those little feet in mail. I thought he was going to get 3 for sure, but the fact that it ends, I believe Gambit were down 2 versus 4. They somehow, someway are able to convert after a showstopper wipes out their entire team. Fantastic stuff for Gambit. And I mean, we talked about Gambit, the experience, the fact that they are
on the attack. Now they get to their defensive side of the map, and Vikings have to figure out, well, what sort of nonsense can we make happen?
What kind of nonsense? I will keep my eye out for that nonsense certainly here. Shadows, 2 flashes to his name. He's got the ghost. That certainly tells you he wants to find some duels here.
And we'll see, you know, one of the things we talked about in the previous half was how Gambit were able to exploit the middle of the map to kind of do whatever the heck they wanted. We'll see if Vikings are able to have the same success. So far, I mean, they've weakened a couple of members on the side of Vikings, or excuse me, on the side of Gambit. We'll see if their utility is enough to make this happen. I don't know. Potter, Gambit are not moving from here.
Yeah, they're not. They're certainly not. Very interesting. Shadows already using and burning both flashes. That definitely made things a little bit nerve-wracking for Vikings. They do not want to mess with that area of the map. They know there's a lot of bodies towards there. They're shifting towards A, but this is pretty obvious here, Doug. I think for Gambit, they're going to have a pretty good idea that the hit is coming towards A.
And they have all of the utility from the Killjoy set up to be able to kind of take care of that. There we go. Exactly what we were just pointing out. Chronicle's turret and the Nanoswarm combination is so difficult to get to. And now we're getting to crunch time in the round, right? There are only 30 seconds left. If you're going to commit to a site, you're going to have to do it soon. The alarm bot giving away the rotations, and you see it go back, right? Shadows is already hustling back. You've also got Redguard in an aggressive position. This is textbook out from Gambit, but the kill doesn't come through. That should get Vikings onto the site.
Love this pivot. Such a decisive, quick call for Vikings. They're going to have to get this spike planted and make all these frags count. It's come down to a 3 versus 3 post plant here. Oh, no.
Yeah, looking to attempt the retake. Let's see if the Kush drops. Spike ticking away.
Saucy.
Holding things off just fine. Saucy with a great shot. Makes it a 1v2. FRZ's got a lot he's going to have to deal with, but if he's able to isolate the gunfight, he might have a chance at things. He's got the classic, and he still has a bit of armor to his name. Chronicle on the tap. Pulls it right back. The turret to provide some cover, but they're going to have to do this soon. I don't know. Chronicle getting it to happen. FRZ, you got to challenge it. He challenges it, but Chronicle lands the shots at just the right time and gets it a fuse.
Turret, man. Turret is MVP here in this round, just tanking a lot of the bullets. Not just that, but a crosshair distraction as well. a beautiful response for Vikings, all things considered. You know, we talked about the fact that as they were hitting that A site, it was really telegraphed. You know, all the Gambit members, they knew it, but that one hole, the one opening that they had was the ropes. They beeline it back towards B Heaven, try to make this split happen, but on the way, too many casualties. One dropping here, one dropping towards B Heaven, and it just, the post plant, it just makes it way too difficult.
Vikings not finding success in the opener. It's very unlikely that they find success here either, and Defo's here to ensure that that is the case. He's already gotten the opener with Marshall. He's going to get a chance at a little bit more, and he does it. This should be a prime gaming flawless.
Easy peasy. Easy peasy. I mean, if you're Gambit, that's exactly the kind of anti-eco rounds that you want to happen every single time. So certainly for them, that's a beautiful start. And hey, for Defo, those Marshall kills, those feel good, Doug. Those feel real good.
There are few things as satisfying as as fully like decapitating somebody with a Marshall.
Yep. That second shot, that little no-scope. Defo's feeling, he's feeling good right now. Nice, clean anti-eco. We'll see a strong buy, a decent buy, at least for Vikings coming through this one. 2 half armors, but they've got full utility coming into this. And the pistol round, we saw them putting a lot of pressure. In fact, all 5 members of pressure towards mid. This time it's just 4 with Killjoy holding off the A push, but so much aggression here.
Pressure mid at just the right time. The snake bite right to the forehead, but it's not enough as Sudakas is able to take care of Nats. Gambit have already dropped one. They're going to flip back towards B. Redgar in a position again to be able to come up in a big way for Gambit as they all push right into his lap.
Yeah, and while all of this was going down, Sadhack, he got pushed and bullied completely off of A ramp. You saw the Sky and Jet duo combo going in tandem, pushing down, and look at this, they're going to re-aggress. Now the timing here is going to be everything. As Gambit re-aggresses down A ramp, they should run right into all 4 members of Vikings here.
Defo used the Blade Storm. He still has that Marshall that he was so good with last time. But
this timing, this pinch.
You're absolutely right. Sudakas, if he's able to land things at just the right time, it's going to be a problem. The fault line, they start to work their way out. Don't know that there are 2 players up. Oh, there they go. One.
Oh, no.
The Blade Storm, not able to do it, but there was Sudakas at just the right time. He was able to grab one of his own. That should create some space, but Chronicle in a spot to take it right back. Oh, no. I don't know that they know. Sassy, if he gets the timing right, the gun barrel, he should be able to clear out that ultimate as well. My guy, it's safe. Walk your way out. Oh, that's so close! All right. Redgar cleans that up, but he still has his work cut out for him. 2 members left. One around pillar, the other one further off site.
And Redgar, oh, the turret just catches him there. He does have a smoke to his name, but FRZ is playing this so well, just biding the time, using that spike as a teammate, and beautiful shot, just a little jiggle. Redgar, not a lot to shoot at there. And a beautiful conversion round there. Things just went back and forth into this round. Defo certainly could have had a clip for himself. In fact, he probably could have had all 4 kills there on another Tuesday, right? But not to be this time around. He's only able to get the 1. And that's the first round on the board for Vikings on this attack half.
Man, you can see that from Shados. They had an opportunity, right? It felt like it was there. They probably should have gotten away with it and busted economy for Vikings, but Vikings avoid disaster, at least for now. We've seen this a lot, right? We saw it in the previous half, the Trailblazer, and then Defo works his way forward. These two have been so tightly knit together on this map. They're consistently playing around each other, and that was the bullying that you mentioned. Sadaka already has to give some of that space back. A shot right to the face. His Killjoy's down.
Whack-a-mole once again. Defo and Sky. Duo combo pushing through, and take a look at Shados. He's not stopping. He's already in attacker spawn, and he's going to make the big flank all the way around. The members of Vikings, they have B Heaven control, but look at this Viper Molly off the alarm bot of Killjoy.
Not enough yet, but you saw the turret that triggered that somebody dropped down, and that's why you saw the op shot there. There's Nats creeping his way forward. He manages to find the opener on GTN. FRZ still down there as Nats drops.
Spike down.
Here comes the spike, finally making its way onto the site to join FRZ. He's 1 point away from having that res online as well. Cosmic Divide coming out. Still got to get the spike down. The delay is there. Defo.
30 seconds
opener
left.
you got.
Shadows finally making his way to the site. He's finally here. I think he's going to probably be the first point of contact. Maybe he's waiting for his teammates to get contact, but Defo gets taken out.
FRZ getting a little spicy with it, as Shados does as well. Vikings fall apart there at the end, and you know, really for them to have gotten as far as they did, they got the spike down, right? Like it was tough treading for a little while, but they got in there, they got the spike down, they had the setups, and even FRZ going aggressive onto Defo there through the Cosmic Divide was a great setup, but it just wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough, but you know, all things considered, especially how the round started off. You know, we look back all the way towards A ramp. Sadok didn't even get to shoot a single bullet before he got taken out, right? Then we saw the Sky pushing all the way into attacker spawn. That is so much map gone and lost for the Vikings. So the fact that they're able to somehow at least even make it into the site and only 2 members surviving and standing at the end of the...
Give them an inch, they will take it, right? Like momentum quickly can shift back their way, and you saw how they opened up the map. It was very aggressive, it was very momentum based, and that's what got them to that point. Good on Gambit to swing it right back, but the timeout coming in to make sure disaster is avoided. GTN going aggressive. Shadows trades it right back.
Love the aggression for VKS, or for GTN rather there. Defo certainly wasn't expecting that. At least they're able to get a trade. I mean, Saucy, now the question is he going to want to... Well, maybe not anymore, but I was going to say he might want to invest that Breach ultimate coming into this round now. I mean, they've still got a Sage res as well. Things could get really interesting in this round, Doug.
Yeah, they've already managed to drop Redguard, and that's followed. These trades have just been going back and forth. Yes, Gambit got away with it. Shados got 3 at the end. That's awesome. They upgraded the op, but it's these back and forth kills in these ecos that they constantly keep me on the edge of, is this going to be disaster or are we okay?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Shados is able to convert there, but yes, this round woulda, coulda, shoulda been something insanely different. Good on Gambit, though, to actually convert that one, and either way for Vikings, it was a throwaway round, a bit of a throwaway round. And it seems to be that, again, they're going to bring most of their presence towards mid here. I like the aggression. We're seeing a judge coming out to the table again.
And with that, Defo should... Well, the thing is, they don't have any personnel mid. Okay, so there's a Trailblazer that comes out. That's going to allow Defo to take more of an aggressive position up in mail to hold down mid with that op, potentially. But you see Vikings through that. They've kind of given up this idea of working their way mid. They're going to get into sewers to try to lean towards A. Once again, when you go towards A, you're going to have to deal with all of this Killjoy utility, this time coming out from Chronicle and the Bulldog to boot.
Yeah, and Saucy, he's going to have to make a decision here. Does he want to use his ultimate before they get into the site or save it for the actual retake? And there's my answer. He's going to go ahead and use it before. I don't think he's going to get much off of it. Nats and Chronicle already fine too.
Yeah, GTN not able to convert off of that raise, and as quickly as things started, they come to a screeching halt, and really off of that, you see Gambit already on the rotate. Redguard trying to take some more of that space away. Nice shot out from Defo. He's going to get a shot at another one here. The flash. Not exactly what they were looking for, but Sassy.
30 seconds left.
I just don't know that there's enough there. I mean, maybe, but you still got to yank so much of it back in your way. And you've got Redguard, again, making sure there's nobody rotating back. They can double down on this defense on A.
Yeah, this is going to be so tough, especially because Saucy took a lot more damage than I'm sure he wanted. 10 seconds left on the clock. At this point, it's looking like Vikings just want to save their guns. Hopefully go into the next round, make something happen. Not a bad call either. You take a look at the ultimates that are going to be coming online. We've got the Showstopper. We've got the Killjoy ultimate. So definitely some options into the next round. He's going to have to survive. Okay, he's good.
Potter, let me ask you this. Given the fact that that put Gambit into map point early on in this series, probably what, 9 times out of 10, do you feel like it is the right call there to save your rifles going into the next one with the ultimates, or is it that they are bringing in, so not everyone has to buy up? That even with that, though, even with that money save, Sadok and FRZ are both at light armor now. Both Sadok and GTN, 2 points, or a point each from having their ultimate online. And Defo finds success off the Trailblazer.
No, that turret.
Yeah, he saw the turret, yep.
Oh, no.
Give him the shoulder. He doesn't take it off. Sadok swings out. The Nano Swarm there. And look at all of this utility coming in as the rest of Vikings work their way towards A. You've got Nano Swarms. You've got Alarm Bots. And guess what? You've got Chronicle, or else you had him. At least for a moment, Vikings finding some space.
They are, but they haven't had to deal with Nat's ultimate in B main yet this half. I'll be interested to see exactly how they react. I think Sadak, as soon as he turns this corner, he's going to realize, and this should probably make Gambit second guess or at least do something else. And take a look at Shadows again. Look at where he's at on the map.
Sneaky, sneaky guy. Sadak playing in and out of the Viper's pit. And I mean, they have some time to switch off if they want to. This is sitting on a ticking time bomb. Shadows get the timing just right, and he does. And unfortunate for Sadak as well, as he looks away at the worst possible time. But with that, you kind of have to go, right? You have to get onto the site. Sazi tries doing that and manages to take care of Redgar along the way, swinging out around the pillar, but you're going to have to mess with the guys that are in the Viper's pit. Defo an up barrel down his throat as he cleans him up. Sazi's the last alive. He's gotten 3. He's going to need 2 more to play another round, and he's going to get a shot at it. The flash gets 1.
He should be able to move around the chess pieces on the server a little bit easier in the Vikings players.
Well, I think another player we have to keep an eye on is GTN. The desk highlighted it. He's back on the raise. Give me some more. I need some more firepower, baby. I need some more gunpower. Make something happen for Brazil. Vikings starting off on the attacking half. You've already seen, space taken away. And if it's not off the sky, it's off of the Sova. But they do the same thing, and this is so good for Gambit.
It certainly is. And good delay there with the Asher utility. Look at Saucy, he's still in drone form here. The timing is going to be brutal. Defo finds an opening, and Sudakos will see if he'll be able to respond.
Ooh. They're going to have to turn their attention back, and they do. GTN starting off great as Sudakos gets a second one as well. The flank that we talked about, the disaster spot, is really taken care of, and off of that, Vikings are able to rotate away, understanding there were 2 who were pinching in. B should be open. They're absolutely right.
Yeah, they should be able to get the spike down here. And Redgar, he's made it in time. He's in the general vicinity. He's got to be very wary of this elbow push. It's about to be a 1v1 Asher diff moment here. Redgar versus Sudakos. We'll see who comes out on top here.
Got armor. He didn't need it. Didn't need a lick of it. He's able to win that out. A 3v2 still in favor of Vikings as the spike ticks away. Gambit looking to find an opening. It's big that they were able to take elbow control, but their job's not quite done. A great flash as FRZ swings out. Up from Hookah, not finding anything quite yet. They continue to go forward. Redgar finds it, has to find the second one though. Sadhak dancing away. You still have to take care of the player that's up in Hookah. Redgar looking to get it potentially to half. No, Sonic swings out at just the right time. I don't know that he got it to half. Sadhak's still alive. The noose and Shados gets the kill, but he didn't get it to half. It's not gonna matter. Vikings win the pistol again.
Oh man, what a close turn of affairs. And Gambit, that's one of the tough things about bind and flanking. You know, you think you've got a big play, you're working so hard, you've been walking for so long, you finally come back and you make a huge flank happen, but then you just get immediately traded out. All that hard work, it's just all gone for nothing. And you giveth and you taketh.
And the pressure that you took is gone.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, you feel that if you're the team that's getting flanked upon. Flankies, perhaps.
Flankies.
We're going to stick with that?
I like it.
Yeah, flankies. The flankies, they feel the pressure and they go elsewhere now. Look at Gambit this time attacking from a short, taking some of that space away. Redgar's got plenty of info, and you've got Nats who's staying back on the site. He's going to have a chance at something big here. He's got a shorty, and I love that because off the utility that he has set up, he's forcing them into his lap, but the flash in his face, the bullets, take care of him as well. FRZ looking to go hunting, looking to find some more. Sassy gets the spike down.
And Vikings are not messing around, man. They got into that B site so fast. That Viper wall was meant to slow them down, meant to make them second guess just a little bit before they just brute force their way into there. But that Sova dart, perfect timing. And this should be a pretty clean round. Now Shadows, he does have the Sheriff on his back. He's had some spectacular shots on the first map. We'll see what kind of damage he can do.
Player standing.
Not at all.
Defo's surely just get something. No, nothing. A prime gaming flawless for Vikings as they win the pistol. They hold serve in the second round. Now Gambit should be able to respond. But, you know, we talked, Potter, about what can Vikings do to get back into this thing? Because things really, I mean, the wheels came off on the first map on Split. This is an excellent start for them to kind of get back momentum their way.
Yes, sir. And I mean, the cherry on top would definitely be this bonus, Doug, for sure. I mean, if Vikings are able to convert this one, then we certainly have a series on our hands. All of a sudden, Vikings have a bunch of breathing room coming their way. We'll see what happens, though. Gambit have a healthy purchase coming into this one. Well, I say healthy, but only one with full armor. Either way, full rifles across the board. And one of those pesky bonuses once again coming out for Vikings. I like the fact that GTN is focusing on those orbs. We'll definitely see that showstopper coming into play by at least the second or third gun round.
With hopefully more success than what we saw previously. He did have that one moment as the dusk highlighted, but other than that, it was a bit lackluster.
Oh, this timing. Holy.
He made his way in behind enemy lines. Sadak has control of U-Haul. Well, Trailblazer in his face. They push him right back. But you haven't dealt with him, and you don't know he's there! Defo dashing away! Not going to be able to stay alive long enough to make a difference. Sadak gets too big there. You called it, Potter. The timing to get into U-Haul to create that space, really, I mean, it cracks the site open for Vikings. Now they're going to get the spike down.
It certainly will. Not only that, but because those 2 kills came so fast and no trades in sight, Vikings have a real good idea that they have all of backside in their control. You can see Viper feeling a little more risky, getting more into that forward position at Pipe. Now Vikings are looking like this is a secured dub. 100% should be in the bag, and Gambit are feeling that as well as they start to back up and see if they can at least salvage some of these weapons for themselves. I wouldn't be surprised if Vikings just go ham here and hunt them down with their bonus weapons. Oh, and Redgar, what a response.
A little too much ham.
A little too much ham.
A little too much ham. Never thought I'd say that. But alas, a little too much ham. But Potter, at the beginning of the round you mentioned, they got to win the bonus. That's going to be spicy. That's where Vikings should, in theory, be able to snowball this into a couple of rounds, get a nice and cozy lead, a comfy lead, if you will, on the first half of Bind. And so far, they're sticking to forecast.
So far, so good. Now, the one caveat that I didn't mention is if the opposing team save 2 to 3 weapons, if not more, then they can get another full purchase coming to the next one. So it's not quite as snowbally as I probably kind of painted the picture to be. This time around, Gambit, they have 3 saved weapons. I think the rest of the members will be in that weird range with 1,700, 1,900 credits to their name. They'll probably buy some sheriffs, not a lot of armor, and we'll see what happens.
Now, I want to get your thoughts on this as we find ourselves in an early timeout. Gambit have shown either down B long, either through a short. They have no qualms with turning up the heat a bit, right, on the defensive half. They'll take some of that space away. We saw it on Split as well, but it hasn't provided the success that they have found previously, right? It's been a bit brutal, even when they take that flank, which I think taking the flank was ultimately the right call. They just didn't account for the fact that they were going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
Do they need to peel that back a bit? Do you continue to play at that pace?
You know, Bind is really strong to be a team that's unpredictable and constantly pushing and constantly testing those boundaries and those limits. But I gotta say, because of how the first map went on Split, and we kept pointing out the fact that Gambit, they look so disciplined. No matter what, they're sat back, they're waiting, they're biding their time, and they're just allowing Vikings to make mistakes right in front of their eyes, and they're right there to capitalize and punish them for it. So under normal circumstances, I would say double down and keep doing what you're doing. But for Gambit, I would say stick to your game plans, lean into your strengths. I mean, what got you here, which was your game plan, which was your discipline, and it was your teamwork. So maybe simmer down on the pushes. I don't think Gambit really need to resort to those sorts of gimmicky plays. I think they can just stick to the basics and ride this one out.
Well, Defo's giving you the finger right now.
Well, we take those sometimes, maybe.
He's already worked his way through showers, already made his way supposedly back there, and with that comes a ton of information. But
so much damage.
They still have to hold sight, right? Like, they know at this point they should have a very good idea that the hit is on to B. Although the spike being on long leaves the door open for the potential of a flip back, either Shutelli or rotating out. Seems like they're mulling over, and this is where Defo taking that space away can prove to be even more valuable than just the information you had initially.
Yeah, but look at Nats. He's done a fantastic job of holding off this tough Octagon push. Now, he's not quite as healthy. He's lost all of his armor. But the fact that he has that control, it should give them some time to defend this hookah. And things have just come to a stop.
Yeah, and it feels like Vikings haven't quite found the window, right? Like, they're trying, they've dropped the Viper's Pit, they're trying to find the spot, whatever it is, for them to go, and it just hasn't been right? Like, the wind hasn't blown to just the right space for them to feel confident in their ability to go, and off of that, you're seeing some of this trepidation as they move forward, but now they feel a bit more comfortable. It's been slow, but it's been sure. They're going to get onto the site, trying to spam through the Viper's wall, and off of the Tracers that come off the Vandal, they're able to trade that kill right back. FRZ and GTN get a couple of pieces. Sassy does as well, but Defo has the chance to be the hero for Gambit. He's not even messing with it.
He's just going to tuck tail, back away, and definitely the right call. And what a round from Vikings. You know, I talked about the fact that Nats had that full top octagon control, but Vikings, they revisited it. That was the plan all along. They made their pressure, they made their stand in hookah, cut noise, fell back, and then retook that octagon, and that just bolstered this pinch, this B-site hit that came in. I think there was only 20 seconds left on the round. Yeah. I gotta say, I think Shadows definitely probably shouldn't have spammed in that corner. You know, I know he wanted to kill the spike planter, and then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose, and then really you got a round on your hands. But I think he probably just tucks there and waits for a distraction. He didn't even get a lick of damage off. He just kind of immediately gets responded on. So definitely a little bit unfortunate that Nats gets taken out as well. Just one thing after the other, Gambit just kind of fell apart on this B defense.
And for as much as we've talked about Brazil liking to go fast and Vikings and their play style, that was a different flavor of Vikings, and it was a pretty tasty one, right? Like, you talked about the cut noise, you talked about the slow, creep your way forward, take that space without them knowing preferably.
Oh,
it works. Defo completely changing the script of what we just said. The flash, the dash, the blade storm's not going to find anyone, though.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Gambit want to wait around at all. I mean, it's just been every round relentless. Defo, he's scrimming it right now, man. He's playing, he's having fun. He's got the knives out. Just no cares in the world. The spike will go down, but this sort of fast flank, and with a Jet that's this carefree and this aggressive, things can get dangerous real fast, Doug.
Radgar's got a Bucky, too, in U-Haul that he may have a chance with, but I love how... That's
good night, perfect. FRZ. Yep. Let's go, Defo.
Well, and even with that, like, Vikings, they've lost Shower's control, but they had the setup that I think they wanted. They're so careful to make sure nobody's kind of getting sucker punch. Oh, it's not Not able to land it as Defo gets cleaned up. Redgar takes one for his troubles, but that's it. There's the showstopper, and another unfortunate use of it is it provides no value whatsoever, but Vikings get to 5.
You know what? If I'm GTN there, I blame Sudicas, honestly.
Bro, that was mine.
Yeah, that's my kill. What are you doing, man? I popped my ultimate for that. Why are you stealing my kills out here? But, I mean, fantastic stuff from Vikings. As I mentioned before, you know, when you hear the jet knives go off and when you hear them running you down, things can get pretty hectic pretty fast. But a decent response for Vikings, and you could just see it, right? The reactions there right off the bat. Good stuff. FRZ, such a huge kill to be able to put the stop onto Defo there.
This is interesting. There was a dart that hit back Showers for Defo to swing out with the op. Didn't get a spot on anything, but the Trailblazer did come through, and that's a whole lot of utility coming your way, my guy. The Hunter's Fury in as well. Defo still trying to stay alive. He dances around all of it and lands the shots onto FRZ anyway. GTN takes space up short. Sucker punches Chronicle and Showers. Vikings have found some space to work with on the site, but Gambit refusing to give an inch. They're still healthy enough to be able to fight this thing back. Yeah, the spike went down, but they took control right back. How do they get the defuse? How do they continue to take care of what Vikings have thrown their way? To get this defuse. Spike ticking away. It's going to have to be soon. The flash, the swing. Good onto Shados. Only 2 on the side of Vikings remain. Redgar on the tab. At least gets it to half. Sudicas taking care of that. Redgar's going to stick it.
His suck didn't. Oh no, Sudicas. That's going to hurt. He thought he got the diffuser off the spike there. That is unlucky. You know, we've been seeing these small mistakes catching some of these teams with the missed smokes yesterday on Haven, and now with the missed suck orb to get him off the spike. This was a fantastic execute coming out from Vikings. You can see there the pressure that Defo was under towards Shower. It was a complete A crunch, right? You saw the Raze making his way up short A, double satchel, pinching into that Showers as the Sky is keeping those 2 defenders defenders busy in the shower area while the Sova ult is coming down. So many layers for Vikings, and the pressure was on Gambit. Faltered. Beautiful stuff for Vikings.
Defo once again having to play utility simulator as he just dodges around everything that was his way. That time it was a Trailblazer and the Roomba. Counter with the Seekers of their own. But Vikings taking this round a bit slower than what we saw in the past.
Yeah, very much slower. I feel like that those jellies for Shadows were pretty early. He definitely felt the pressure on there.
Whoa,
Probably gonna miss. What a shot from Saucy.
Redgar's judge. A ratty little spot. If they don't check that 50, they'll get punished. But Vikings leaning towards B, and I mean, they got the opener over towards long, so I also understand you drew the Seekers out from that side after cutting noise. There could be a chance at something, but that flash may have given away some info.
Yeah, unlucky. It just catches Sadak, so that info that you're talking about definitely is going to go over towards the Gambit side. This Hunter's Fury hits the mark. We'll see if he's able to finish off, and he certainly does. Yeah, Vikings, they have to TP. They're going to make their way towards A, right into the hands of Redgar.
Redgar's only got a judge. We mentioned it earlier. He's going to have to take this aggressive angle, and that's exactly what he does. They know he's there. The judge doesn't deliver. Vikings get onto the site. 13 seconds left. Should be able to get the spike down. No ultimates to speak of for anyone else, but there are kills aplenty for Saucy as he gets 3 on the round. It's all down to Nats. If he can get 1, he can maybe make something happen, but doesn't land him. Saucy gets 4. Vikings get to 6. Gambit, they're in trouble.
They are in trouble. You know, we talked about those early tactical pauses for Gambit on the last map. I think probably pretty soon here we're going to see one coming through for Gambit. I think this was weird, right? Because as soon as you said, Doug, out of your own words, he's only got a judge, I thought, who's ever said those words in Valorant before? He's only got a judge. You never say that. You say he's got a judge. Be careful, right? So certainly it is so wonky that the judge doesn't come through, but fantastic response for Vikings. That was a 2v3 conversion.
And no timeout.
Yeah. Oh, that's rough.
Ooh, I like this, though. This isn't rough. If they can make it convert, this is exactly the kind of seemingly reckless play that you have to dial up in a situation like this to try to shift momentum back your way. Gambit throw everything in the kitchen sink at him. But off of that, Vikings navigate the waters, teleport out, and they should get onto B for free.
Yeah, and Viper's Pit, Saucy's in a very interesting spot. I mean, if all three, okay, they're all going to TP, it seems. So Saucy will be able to play the post here, but oh man, as the spike is going down, this retake's already going to, doubling back, okay.
Well, and it was off of that, you mentioned it was Saucy in a great spot. What on earth is going on here?
It's going back and forth. This is tug of war, Doug.
Yeah, look at how the turn's tabled.
The turn's tabled.
The spike back on B again after we were there and then we left and then we were there and then we left and now we're back. Spike's down. You've got Saucy in a really good spot there to cut off any rotations if they come in through defender spawn. The Viper's Pit comes through and there's green all over the place. It's like we're watching Nickelodeon in the mid-90s. As both Viper's Pits comes through, Natch drops, and off that is going to fall the Viper's Pit as well. Sadak pushing his way forward through that very same ultimate that we just highlighted. Gambit have a Marshall in the hands of Chronicle into that Viper's Pit. I mean, what do? Defo's already fallen. Sadak has got 3 on the round.
Okay.
And Sadak has got 4. He's going to get a chance at the ace. Potentially, unless Saucy's a bad teammate and steals it from him. Yeah, Shadows doesn't have time. Sadak, go get the ace, guy. Go get the ace! They give it to him! You saw him walk away to tee him up. An ace for Vikings, an ace for Sadak, and a 7-round first half early on. This is so good for Vikings.
This is so good. And that was probably one of the closer rounds we've seen Vikings so far in this half, which is so weird to say, especially when we know they're up against the likes of Gambit. But yeah, and that was on an eco. That was on an eco, just TP, hey, let's go party outside shower and see what happens. And it almost happened, Doug.
It was probably the most chaotic of all of the ones that we've seen. Again, teams kind of flipping things around. What was up, what was down, who knew? But Vikings are able to deal with the chaos. And an ace helps when things go sideways.
Definitely a little bit. We'll see here. Okay, this might be the first kind of real slow default round that we're seeing out of
both teams, really.
Yeah. I mean, Defo's pretty much been living in attacker spawn, and things are just down to a complete halt. Vikings, they should be able to get this hookah control, and they've already have it. So that should start initiating future map control. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Vikings do what they did last time, which was revisit this top B octagon area after they leave someone tucked in hookah.
Well, and really, this setup, Potter, is what you were looking for out of Gambit.
Whoa.
Just a couple of rounds ago, the flash, they swing out again. They did not leave B entirely open, though. I don't know that they know that Redgar's there. Redgar's able to take Sadak down, and he damaged 2 other members. They're so weak. He gets the second, not able to land the third, but the damage has been done. You see, there's a little bit done there, but the spike going down. GTN taking elbow control to deal with the defenders that are starting to rotate around. They're going to walk right into his lap. GTN has a chance to go big here for Vikings. Potentially get them to 8. I don't know that Gambit can find a way in. Not easily.
Oh, GTN, this paint shells could potentially be huge. There's that combo. It barely Shadow's just limping away. Now it's a 2 versus 4. The spike is ticking away, but Sudakas, he's got to come up huge here, Doug.
Does. Again, no ultimates. They do have a couple of shock darts in the hands of Sasi. What can you do there? Nothing. Shados is going to get the defuse. Oh, yeah, you know, he is going to get the defuse. I thought potentially would have switched over, given it to Defo or someone else, but he's going to get one step closer to bringing the Seekers online. Gambit get the second round. And it was clean.
That was weird, Doug. That was weird. I mean, look, let's just take a look at these highlights. Hopefully we're able to see it, but there was 3 defenders at B. Then all of a sudden, 2 players TP'd all the way back towards A. Shower, and Redgar was all on his lonesome at B. You pointed it out, Doug. But the fact that he's rewarded with 2.5 kills, the lone anchor at B, no help, nowhere in sight. That's just everything for Gambit in their defense here.
And he almost got a third.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, probably should have got.
Oh,
what?
Okay.
My guy, what is that? Gambit dial up the aggression that we've seen down B long a couple of times, and I mean, Sassy just takes their faces off.
Yeah, he was ready for it, and I mean, he can just meet back up with FRZ. FRZ can definitely top him off here. He'll be healthy. And okay, Redgar's got to judge, and I'm not going to do what you did to him, Doug. I'm not going to do it.
Redgar's got to
judge. Vikings have to be very careful.
Cosmic Divide comes through. Now, surely here, Chronicle is the nuisance.
Oh, no.
Chronicle was not a nuisance. He had a chance to be a nuisance, but he didn't really convert it into much of anything. Redgar and Defo are the only 2 that remain in the 2v5, and Gambit still haven't really found their way out of the gates. It seems like quite yet. They haven't found the openings that they wanted. They've tried switching things up. It hasn't been from a lack of effort. They just haven't converted where they've needed to.
Yeah. I am wondering if Gambit are making reads and they just so happen to not be the right reads at this moment in time in the server, or if they're practicing or doing things that they did at their boot camp. But it's strange the random pushes that keep happening on this map so far on the defense. I think Bind is one of those maps where you definitely can make things interesting by being aggressive, but it seems like every round almost, besides one, Gambit at push on the defense side, whether it's some random TPs in the mid-round or whether it's just brute forcing their way down long B, and it's a little strange.
I mean, it hasn't worked.
Yeah, look at this, Doug. There's no utility. Was there even a flash? I'm not sure.
Well, and I think like the kind of what you're getting at here, Potter, is good, right, wrong, or indifferent, right?
Yeah.
Like, it just hasn't netted them the results that they are looking for here, and it's been regardless of where they push. It hasn't been like, well, B isn't working, and you kind of keep running your head out of wall, trying to find some success. It hasn't worked anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Vikings look like they want to be really aggressive at A here. They're already in.
I don't mind. Oh, no. I was going to say the only real, saving grace is if they can maintain Shower's control, there's a chance at something here. Chronicle takes 1 hit, but stays alive otherwise. I think I feel like Gambit are in a really good spot to take this thing back. The flash out, FRZ turns it away, but the sneak bite keeps him at bay, at least for now. Defo gets
what
the
a
opener.
dog.
He's going in. Yeah, doesn't get a second one either. This is what I was talking about, man. The showers control that they have, if they're able to maintain this, they should be able to reestablish control of the site. The Seekers come out as well. GTN has his hands full, and as you so aptly said, Redgar has a judge.
He's got the judge, and he's able to make that retake happen, Doug. The judge is just too strong. It's just too damn strong. But you mentioned it, Doug, and I'm glad you pointed it out. The fact that even though Vikings made it into the site, they're getting the spike down. You look at that mini-map, and you don't see any Vikings members set up in any sort of position to make that sort of post-plant look good, right? A lot of pressure. Gambit had showers control. That short A push was coming. The pinch from spawn was also coming. They were all funneled and stuck in U-Haul.
And that's it. You just don't want to be there.
Yeah.
You can't hold enough of the site. You can't.
But Gambit needs something. They need something to wake up here in the second map.
Gambit need a spark to at least get this to 8-4 and then potentially find more success on their attacking half. But for now, they've taken showers control. Things haven't changed very much, right? Again, we see the Trailblazer. We see Defo has taken space through showers. Sudikast almost waiting for it. Oh no, and Sadak is there as well. They've got a really good crossfire set up if they continue to push their way forward. There's that crossfire that I was talking about. Sudikast swings out. Defo gets dropped.
Yeah, Defo, not a trade in sight, not a lick of damage either. Gets taken out, and once again, Gambit on the back foot. Saucy, this timing. Oh, unfortunate for Saucy. Redgar makes the read. Beautiful push to equalize things. That at least gives Gambit some shining light at the end of the tunnel in the last round of this half.
So they've got, you just saw Sadak drop the poison orb down short. The setup is intended to allow you to creep your way up a short without having to give off very much at all. The combination of the wall and the orb gives you just enough cover to make your way forward undetected. That's exactly what they're doing. Now they have the Cosmic Divide coming out as well to split the site
30 seconds left.
in two. They haven't fully breached their way through that yet as GTN gets the spike down. A good flash coming up from Shados. Not able to land any of the shots. Sadak is, however, has the numbers advantage still in favor of Vikings.
What a flash, what a play. I thought that would be everything, but Sadak is just so ready. Redgar, that's crispy. He's gonna need at least another.
Yeah, and the showstopper out from GTN, I was about to mention it. He's able to really just use that to zone. Nats doesn't really have anywhere to go. He's got to buy time for Redgar to make a play. That's exactly what he does. Redgar's gotten 3 on the round. This is still doable, but they're going to have to get on the horse. They're going to have to do something quick. You have so much Astro utility littered around the spike. That's exactly what happens. Redgar's 4th. The gravity well, Redgar's 5th. You asked for a spike, Potter. That very well may be it. He's got to get the defuse, though, first.
Oh. Okay, 2.65, we're good. That sounded a lot closer in my ears than it actually was. My goodness, incredible stuff for Gambit. That didn't look possible, Doug. That did. I kind of already checked out in that round. I thought for sure Vikings were going to go ahead and convert another post plant that we
here. We've already seen that Viper Ball set up across A. That's not where most of the players are.
Yeah, they're not. The spike is, however, outside towards the shower area. Beautiful molly. That's gonna, well, I say it's slowing down Defo, but not Defo. He's gonna go and hop, skip, jump right over it. And that sort of map control early, that's everything.
Yeah, mere mortals, you're right, that slows them down. But you've got
but
Defo.
Not Defo.
And
yeah,
Defo is constructed abnormally, apparently, as he just makes his way in through, and they've taken hookah control. But they haven't gone much further than that. A heavy stack towards B seems to be the play.
Yeah, and FRZ right now is just jump spotting. The jig is up though. Shados has definitely figured that one out. And looks like all of Gambit are rendezvousing back towards B here. Yeah, this is looking like it's just going to be a full-on B hit here, Doug, because none of the Gambit members have anyone back towards A. They can't make a TP back.
Go, no place is safe. The options are limited. Defo taking care of Sadak. Elbow control drops as well as Vikings fall shortly thereafter. Shock darts coming through, but the spike should go down, although that was certainly painful. And they may have an opening at this. Roomba up close. Oh, GTN's utility opens things up. Back for Vikings. Redgar and Chronicle left alone. Yes, the spike was down, but can they hold it? Can they keep them at bay? You've got a Ghost and full armor on the side of Redgar. so he's healthy enough to make something happen, and they don't know that he's there. He's been so tagged up, though. The swing had to be there from Chronicle, and there it was. Chronicle gets a second. Chronicle needs one more to win the round. The classic swinging around the corner. You gotta land the shots, but no! It's Sudakaz who wins the pistol for Vikings.
What a pistol round. This might have been the most back and forth pistol round I've seen so far at Champions. My goodness, at any moment, either team absolutely could have converted this one. I'm at a loss for words. I cannot believe that Boombot did that to him. That hurt me deep inside. The fact that the Boombot just kind of veers away and blows him up back of sight like that. Oh my goodness, what a back and forth pistol round. But a beautiful play here, 1 versus 1. Sudakaz to convert.
I believe the phrase is unlucky.
Unlucky.
Really. Unlucky.
Unlucko Malucko.
I'm sorry, the what?
A force buy.
Nice, change it.
We gotta change the subject really fast, really fast.
Gambit, as you said, force up. This time, Roomba not nearly as successful. Defo off the dart, finds the kill. Beautiful setup out from Gambit.
Yeah, the spike should be going down here now, and Defo, he's looking like he's loosening up, man. No, wait. Okay, Sudakaz is able to run and gun with the Spectre of his own. He finds 3. And now just like that, there's 4 members alive. That's a good flank for Redgar, a nice response. But the spike gets taken away, Doug.
We've been here before. Vikings. Okay. Man, it looks like they're going to do it again. The tap. Shados has to make something happen, and he tried to pop a flash to swing out and cause problems, but Saucy's able to clean that up, so Vikings get to 10. Gambit, they lost the pistol. They rolled the die, right? Like, they invested, try to find something with that force up. Nothing doing.
Yeah, nothing doing indeed. And, you know, Vikings, their game plan is solid so far. You know, so far, I've been kind of focusing on Gambit and where they're faltering a little bit, but that's because the expectations for this squad are just so damn high. For the Vikings side so far, their pace, they've been switching it up. Their strategy, their executes, their retakes, it's all looking fantastic for the Vikings side.
They're clicking. They're clicking, and Gambit.
Clicking on all levels.
I mean, really, in Gambit, we talked about their slow start in the previous map, and they finally caught up, but it seems like that is not, well, it certainly hasn't been the case, and we question whether or not they are going to be able to get out of this rut in the second half of fine. Gambit down big, and this is, you know, we're feeling the implications, Potter, of that force up last round. Now, if someone's watching who may have not watched a ton of Valorant in their day or is relatively new to the game, Potter, break down some of that economy difference for me, right? So you lose the pistol, but then you buy and things go south. What are the implications of that?
Well, the implications are that you broke. You broke, and it's no joke. I think the bonus topic, it's still a tricky one, right? I mean, I think even there are scenarios right now where in the second round, you still win, but only 2 of you survive, and in the very next round, you're up 2-0, but you can't afford a single weapon. You can't afford utility. You barely have, what, 20, I believe it's 3,200 to your name. Wait a minute. What is happening here, Doug? All of a sudden, we're looking at 2 versus 2.
Nats is happening, and Shados is happening. Nats has already gotten 3 on the round.
30
Shados,
seconds left.
or excuse me, Nats got 2 and Shados got 1. He still has to rotate and get the spike back, though.
Oh, but they're gonna
walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna walk right into Nats. He's got that Bulldog. The Bulldog good for 1.
ADS.
The snake bite to delay entry in from pipes. That should give Shados enough time to get the spike
10
down.
seconds left.
And the poison orb as well. How have they gotten this far? It was off the sheriffs that we were just talking about. They've gotten Gambit to this point. FRZ, nothing doing. Nats gets 4 with that Bulldog that he found throughout the round to get Gambit to 5. And now this economy conversation that we were just having gets infinitely more interesting.
It does. It does. It gets infinitely more interesting, but infinitely more difficult to talk about, right? Another added layer right on top of that. You know, I'm going to put the economy discussion to the side for now. I got to take a look at the credits here and really see what happened, because what the heck? How did Gambit just convert that?
Well, and here we go, right? Off of that, they invested, right? They bought up big, but they now have full rifles. Vikings do not have the same luxury. They only have the Stinger in the hands of Sadak, and they have that Cosmic Divide to work with. We're seeing some of that aggressive space taken away, out from Hookah to contest what's happening in Sand. There's nobody home, and off of that, I wonder if they fully rotate off. Sassy's showing, hey man, I can do it with the Sheriff too.
Oh, and I like this move. I like this move coming in from Vikings. You know, they did some sort of aggression in the beginning right off the barriers towards B. Now all members are B-lining it towards A. They're just going to have a full 5-man stack, and this is looking like the right call.
Potter, I think Gambit might flip off of this. You see Redgar, he's still playing back in spawn. Yeah, there go. So all of their presence on A and the utility that they invested manipulates the rotations over from Vikings.
TP.
Again, vintage Gambit, and that's going to allow them to get into B quietly. But as you said, Vikings playing around TP, understanding that, hey, the hit isn't here. There should be an opening for you to flip back. They could take it that way.
Shadows. This Shadows kill is going to be everything. Look, he's only got 13 HP to his name. This spike is going to go down, no problem at all. And the timing with Shadows, the communication here, it's got to be top notch to be able to get Shadows a flank going and get these easy free kills in the back.
I like Gambit taking elbow control here. That's exactly where the remaining members of Vikings are. The flash is there. That's going to give the position away, but they swing out into it anyway, and Redgar lines them up and knocks them down. He gets 3 on the round there, and with that, Gambit are still in a spot to win this dang thing. Vikings just down to 2. Sonic's going to get the timing just right as he gets 2 of his own. Shadow's left alone. You talked about his 13 HP. That's all Gambit have left in this round. You see the tap coming out from Saucy. I don't know that they know where Shados is. I don't know that they know where he is. But Sadak lands the shots anyway. A thrifty round win, seemingly back-to-back fashion. Those Sheriffs, you can't count them out.
You can't count them out. You can never count them out, Doug. These thrifties are so painful for me to watch. You know, Redgar, fantastic stuff. The fact that he got 3 kills was huge there. But, you know, a part of me thinks that if he didn't get those kills, and it was Shados that actually completed that flank, and he was the one to get those kills, and Redgar was watching the flank instead, that probably would have secured this round for Gambit. But the fact that Redgar and his Sova, both at elbow, were so focused on spawn to tee up Shadows for that frag, they forgot about flank.
Enemy mark.
Cosmic Divide, Defo with the dash. He's been spotted.
Welcome to my world.
Continue. So here the Viper's pick coming out as well as the spike goes down, and this one's going to be much faster and much messier than we've seen. You've got Redgar still playing, making sure there's nobody working the flank out from Sand, but all of the action, all of the attention is on the site, and once again, we find dueling Viper's pits as the Cosmic Divide comes out as well. Every single ultimate, or seemingly every single ultimate coming out, and of course, through all of that, it's the nade that gets the first. The showstopper there, they want to go. You can tell they want to go. He checks the corner. He's able to land it on the Shadows. Natch drops as well, courtesy of his friend Chronicle. But the single Chronicle, you're going to have to make up for what just happened there. And he's going to get a chance at it. The Hunter's Fury, but he pulls off of it. He's got to stay alive. He's not able to. GTN gets 3. Vikings get to 12. That was probably the most chaotic round I've ever seen.
Oh no, Gambit, that's not good. FRZ just had a shank out, Doug. He's sending a message. He's telling Gambit, look, man, I don't even need my gun to win this round with you right now. He tried to space on that Sova as he had his Hunter's Fury out, get the shank across. That's a message if I've ever seen one. That's a message saying, look, we are in the driver's seat right now. We're about to go over the finish line. We are in full control. And that should have been a post plant that Gambit should have had a better time in. But man, Vikings, these
like impending doom that should normally be coming out from Gambit perfectly to find themselves at map point, 1 round away from taking a size box.
Oh, I'm looking straight at Defo. This is a broken buy for Gambit coming into this last round. At least he's got the Blade Storms on his back. Gambit have to do a really good job at baiting out Saucy's Hunter's Fury here, right? It looks like Gambit have been leaning more towards this A than anything else, and that's exactly where Saucy is. We'll see how Gambit respond. They have the showers control now, though.
Flashed on long, out from FRZ, and now the Trailblazer as well. You've got Redgar. Oh. They do check him, they spot him out. His position's been given away, but Redgar naturally just stays there. Now he rotates away. And for Gambit, you know, given we're considerably far into the round now, they haven't found a ton of space yet. They haven't found a ton of room to work with her in opening at all.
Yeah, and this is a fake, but just a Sky alone with the fake.
Game buy-in.
Yeah, look at the rotations. I mean, as the fake comes through, the two members of Vikings were rotating back towards B. They had the right read, but for some reason they went back towards A.
Defo's gotta land those. Defo's gotta land those. That's the win condition, is that blade storming is broken by situation, and Defo isn't able to land any of it while his teammates fall as well. Chronicle's the only one who remains healthy here in the round for the side of Gambit, as Vikings, their defenses are bolstered. Oh boy, okay. We'll avoid that. That didn't happen. But they still have such good numbers. Shados has to make something happen. He's not going to do it. Map 1 was not enough. Map 2 was not enough to decide what's happening here. We're going to
see a little bit something different. This time they have the same composition, so certainly they've got confidence at least in their game plan.
We'll see if the game plan pays off, if they find success with it, what lacked. Again, in their map up against Secret just a couple days ago. This seems very fast and very aggressive and a very good start out from Gambit, as Defo's already gotten the pistol. Shadows drops though, man, and Defo does as well.
This is huge though. Chronicle, he's just kind of made his posture, right? He's made his stand. He's stopped the flank from coming in, so he can feel pretty confident that he can hold other angles. It's all down to Nats. He's got to survive. 3 versus 4 post plant, completely doable, but Nat's got to be good for 2 here.
Chronicle
does
the
tag!
So Chronicle has 2 shock darts. Oh, but he's playing so tight. I don't know if he's getting a chance at it. Redgar's able to take care of Sudacast. There's one. Sadak tanks it. I don't know that it hit him. I don't know that it's going to make a difference. The wall again causes problems as FRZ gets 2 at the end, just to make sure that everything was fine. VKS win the pistol again.
That's worrisome. What a strange pistol, Doug, because even the plant of the spike itself, sure, they came through mid and that's why, but it seemed like Gambit had plenty of time to plant for a more optimal spot in that post for themselves, but they kind of put themselves into a pickle, and Vikings, they respond so well. If Nats was able to get at least one, that drone, Doug, that damned drone, just tagging him right at that last minute. Unfortunately, he's unable to even get away with any in that moment.
It just ruined everything. I felt flashbacks to a series we saw earlier. I want to say it was the Cloud9 Fnatic series, where the Sage walls were just so difficult to deal with on defuses, and we saw that in the previous round. Vikings find success. They invest their money wisely as they get a Bulldog in the hands of Saucy as well. Gambit, only real difference is they do have that Marshall in the hands of Defo. Misses the first shot.
Yeah, and Defo he's either been past that Marshall and he just invested in half armor, or he really invested quite a bit into this round. Not sure exactly which one it is quite yet. Sage wall will go down. The defenders should have a good idea of it, and Saucy does.
Exactly. As soon as that wall goes down, Saucy's there with that Bulldog. Defo takes the high ground as they work their way forward. Very similar to what we saw in the previous round, but Saucy just not giving much up, and then GTN does a bit of the same. There are only 2 that remain on the side of Gambit. The spike is nowhere near any of them.
Nats does collect a Bulldog. Good jump spot, but GTN holding on to the trigger. Both Marshalls. The run and gun, too strong.
Yeah.
Do you get taken out, Vikings? Decent recovery.
It was just too much,
yeah.
Right? Like the positioning was great, and really for Gambit to have gotten as far as they did was great. They tried to work through mid, but then the kills that go down there, and then the spike going down there, I think that was ultimately the problem, because you saw 2 members of Gambit. We're back into the action. Gambit down early. Let's see. So this will be my last drawback to the previous time we saw them on Icebox. They lost the pistol, they lost the second round, they lost the bonus as well, right? So far, things have a potential to go exactly as they did last time, and that is obviously very concerning for fans of Gambit.
Yeah, very concerning, especially as you say that right off the bat, Shadows gets taken out, and Gambit are a man down. Now, Redgar, he's 3 away from the orb. Now, a lot of stars have to align for him. But perhaps, again, collecting the orbs, maybe finding a frag for himself. might be on the cards because you can see that Nats he's being patient. He's not leaving A. So this tells you that GAMBIT, they're not planning to fully commit to B at this time.
No, and this feels so much like
Oh, he got
GAMBIT.
spotted.
Yep, you saw it. You called it, Potter. They rotate back, but this might be the opening that they need because off of spotting Nats, they send Vikings send 3 back towards A, and that exactly should open the door for GAMBIT to make their way in towards B. Now you've got 2 members in Sudicas and Saucy who are starting to creep their way back. One's the spot. Oh, and the dart too. The dart's everything. Yep, jigs up. Chronicle already falls. They haven't gotten the spike down yet. The wall's going to fall. Is Redgar looking to get it? He does. But it's a 5v2. This is brutal.
This is more than brutal. Look at this flank coming in from GTN. Defo finding that kill does mean a lot, but man, this flank from GTN.
Well, and
GAMBIT just had no idea.
Yeah, Sudicas just stuck it.
Yeah.
And this is, we've been here.
Yeah.
And actually, it is something that I wanted to mention, Potter, because this whole you lose the opening 3 rounds and a half has happened, I believe this is the 3rd time in this series, right? Like where they're just getting busted on the bonus. They're not converting when they have the gun advantage, and this is becoming a recurring theme.
Yeah, it certainly is, and a little bit wonky, a little bit disappointing. Actually, is the word I'm looking for. This hit, you saw the idea behind it, right? Redgar walled up Chronicle, the Sova on GAMBIT as he went across the bridge into that kitchen area, but it just seems like Vikings, they're making the reads. They're in the right places at the right times, and they're punishing GAMBIT when they get close to these sites.
GAMBIT managed to move around dollars just enough so that they can bring in a little bit here. You hear the Empress comes online, courtesy of FRZ. And I mean, this is so well adapted out of Vikings, even with all of the noise that was drawn towards A. That was not enough, right? You saw GTN fully send back towards B long to make sure that there's nobody coming around. So even with some of this play style that GAMBIT have been known for, they're starting to be wise to it. FRZ doesn't get a chance to do anything. And Sudicas was good for 1. Oh no, not able to land the shots onto the planter. 3v3 on the site. Remember, GTN was opposite A, so he's now going to have to hightail it back to get there in time for the play. The spike still hasn't been planted. They've cut noise again. Now Nats looking to get the spike down and should. Now a 3v3 for the side ensues. Sonic swings at it just the right time, tries to catch him on the way out, doesn't land the shots on Nats, but does onto Chronicle. 3v2. Make that my goodness, a 1v1. And the last thing you want to do is 1v1 against Arena, but Saucy has no problems with it at all. It shows that the Sova, at least in this instance, was the better of the 2. He gets the defuse as well. Vikings at 4.
Wow, what a round coming in for Vikings. And, to put some more context, GAMBIT, they definitely did not have the upgraded weaponry to be able to make this as close as they did. But regardless, it still came down to that 2v2, and it was damn close.
And it wasn't nothing, right?
Yeah,
Like they
had a couple Spectres.
Yeah, they had something.
Yeah, a little bit of something, certainly. Man, Saucy, ice in his veins, dude.
He's a bad dude.
Yeah.
He's a bad dude. Vikings up 4. Here in the early moments of Icebox, an operator in the hands of GTN. And my goodness, if the man's patient, if things align just the right way, he's going to get a shot at it. And we saw it. We saw it. It was just a moment. We saw the slower, the shock dart, and the operator holding down that angle. Oh! The dart gives him away, or the drone does.
I like that look, though. Love that patience from Defo. Even though he gets tagged, he waits for that jet to come into him. Unfortunately, he misses. Saucy's going to answer back with a drone of his own. Get some information in mid, and look at Sadhawk. He takes that moment of information and pushes forward. Decent position for him. The sound cues, if there are any, should give Vikings a lot of information here.
Oh, head
no!
From Shados. Dropped the Lear, but he manages to stay alive a bit longer than I think either of us expected, but ultimately falls. A bit delayed, but the outcome as predicted. GAMBIT numbers advantage for what, potentially the first time this map?
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to convert. FRZ is in a peculiar spot here. He'll be able to dismiss away, but he just gets spotted. Yeah. What a dash.
He doesn't get a shot at anything as he drops. You heard the Empress come online at the hands of Shados. Only has 1 armor. To his name, Sudicas in a good spot! Sudicas in a good spot, and Saucy is as well! Saucy gets 2 before falling. The wall goes up. The res comes through as well to bring Shadows back online. We'll see if the Empress can cause more problems, more damage. The Spike's still in tow. You don't really have time to go anywhere else. You're going to have to get through the defenses. You're going to have to get past GTN. So far, so good. Redgar should have enough time to get the Spike down. Sudcast in that 1v2. Too much to look at once. Gambit, they get the first round.
Right when they need it as well. Nats, no other than Nats, shows up right in the nick of time with that flank. All of a sudden finds himself in that heaven area and is able to help out his teammate. What a slow, drawn out round. At every point, it seemed like Vikings had a pretty good look, a pretty good response. I mean, it all started off with that Sage in a very forward position in mid. But Gambit, they're able to make this A work slowly but surely. They're figuring out how to put rounds on the board, and it's starting to happen early. Look, I know it's just one,
Right,
but this
on the board.
round on the board.
Yep.
But that should start to kind of provoke some ideas, right? So start getting the gears rolling, and maybe they'll have some answers.
And so we saw that same utility setup early on there at the opening of the round don't belong that we saw in the previous round. Again, the slow orb onto the shock dart, and then the operator was in a different angle, but it's there, right? To where if that for some reason wasn't enough, there's overkill on damage to clean up an opening kill there. And Gambit, they've been wise to it, right? Like, we haven't seen them waltz their way out. It's always been off of the drone or something of the such to create some space and provide some safe passage for them to work their way through.
Yeah, and this is kind of a rinse and repeat for Gambit. Last time around, we saw exactly this, except Nats was at A, and while the rest of the 4-pack were at B, Nats made the first move. It looks like it's the same thing, except it's swapped. Nats does find the opening onto GTN, places a little bit of damage, and the Viper Pit's gonna go down. The Spike is meeting up with them.
Well, and it's interesting because oftentimes we've seen them fake off of this, but this is real. There's no doubt about it. The rest of Gambit have shown up. You've got Sanak, who's playing close by. The wall's going to go up from Redgar. He's going to get the Spike down as well, get one step closer to having that res. The Hunter's Fury out from Saucy. Did some damage. He got some tags, but it wasn't enough to get the kill. And as you mentioned, Shadows drops through all of that action. Post-plant in tow.
Oh, Redgar trying to find a cheeky timing. But he gets just deleted by Sudcast. Spike is ticking away. Viper's Pit is still in play. And I think we're waiting for some Sova util, perhaps?
Well, and it's another counter. It's another counter Viper's Pit. They still have numbers. At least they had him, but Nats able to respond with 2. Vikings clean things up, though, and they get the defuse. It was a good setup out from Gambit. It was a slightly different flavor of what we've seen, and Vikings handle it as well.
They do handle it. My goodness. I'm not even sure how that fell so flat. It does seem like Vikings, no matter what, their answer to the Viper ult is to place their own and all congregate into their own Viper's Pit and just make sure they're good for the trades. It sounds simple enough. Of course, in practice and in executing it, it's not that simple. But man, Vikings are making it work consistently across this entire series.
I'll take everything from them.
That's what Vikings is on the precipice of doing in this group stage. Well, maybe not everything. They're still the lower match, but certainly not where anyone expected Gambit to be in this group. While Vikings, while they can taste it, while they can see it, it's close, it's within reach. They have to finish things, and an early 4-round lead is exactly what they want. But Gambit again have tested the waters. They're leaving Nats close by 410, I believe, was just spotted by the drone out from Saucy. So now Gambit have to choose how do you reset this round? How do you want to approach it?
Yeah, Sudcast is going to have to be real careful right now. He's all alone, and I know Gambit's purchases is not as good. Well, they're not going to go towards B main, so he's all good. It looks like this is going to be a B split with the Sage wall. Oh, it's an A split.
Silence.
Oh, good night.
Nope. They wanted it to be an A split, but man, they've just been so on point, Potter, right? Like they've been almost clinical since Bind. A prime gaming flawless coming out from Vikings, a 5-round lead. Gambit, we find them where we found them at the beginning of Bind, lost in a bit of a daze, not really knowing how they want to approach things. Now the timeout comes through. Their manipulating habits haven't been as effective, and Vikings, they're just on one right now.
They are on one, and I hope Twitch chat can act. I think they got to get some B main control, right? I mean, either A main or B main, one or the other. It seems like a lot of the focus in the beginning of the round has been towards mid, and they're going again.
Ooh, Sadhak.
Oh, the spam!
They know. The shock dart's there too. He has to drop down.
Wow.
And it's a gift delivered to Sadhak with Christmas right around the corner. He drops, but not without Nats taking care of him as well. 4v4 for the rest of the round.
Sadhak, beautiful response, or rather, Redgar with the trade. Even doing some splash damage there. GTN, what a flank from Gambit Chronicle here. GTN, he's under so much pressure. He's getting flanked.
And he manages to get Redgar anyway. He still has to deal with Chronicle. That shock dart, that pesky little shock dart, stopping his antics for now. Okay, and Gambit have snatched this thing right back.
That's the spike.
Down.
Yep, and Saucy, he's been a freak in instances like this before. He's come up big for the team. He's going to get a chance isolated as well if he looks at the right spot. No, nothing. Chronicle gets the third. Gambit gets to 2, and we talked about it, Potter, right? Like 7-5. 7-5's okay. We take 7-5. They get one step closer.
Yeah, they do. And this time around, the trades in middle, they come in Gambit's favor. You know, a nice 1-for-1 there. At least there was a response, right? Jet, you saw how much pressure. The shock dart coming. The Sage even spamming his little toes right above that tube area. But the fact that on that response, Redgar found the timing and made his way into Kitchen, that was everything. That opened up the entire round for Gambit. Good response and a nice lurk opening here for Redgar.
Once again, we're seeing mid taken. Defo likes to get up top, likes to take up space. This almost feels like we've seen this round before. That was
Deja vu.
Deja vu. Yeah, we just saw that happen.
Look at this wall up. Saucy right on the other side of things. Redgar and Nats, they do have a pretty good idea that this is a possibility.
Surely they heard it. Right? Surely they heard it. No. Sassy goes up top, but are they going to be expecting him to pinch around? Yes, Nats is. Gambit seems to have awakened at least for now, but Sadhak and FRZ keeping things at bay. Chronicle looking to get the spike down. Should succeed. Shados aggressively pushing the matter, taking some of that space back as Sadhak drops a 3v2 in favor of Gambit. Spike ticking away.
And very, very strong post-plant setup here for Gambit. Shados is definitely going to be looking to get that first contact, and the rest of the members will respond. It's going to be up to GTN. There's no flashes. There are 2 smokes for GTN as he picks up a rifle. If he's able to find a first, maybe he can force it to half.
They have their Hunter's Fury in the hands of Chronicle too, and there it is, right? Comes on out. They have to take that fight to his lap. FRZ was able to get 1, but that was all he was good for. Shados gets 3, cleans up the round, has an Empress as well. And I think the other thing we kind of have to mention here is Vikings, Gambit, they took what they wanted, right? Like, they got the spike down, they were able to get the kills that they were looking for, but this is some of that aggressive positioning out from Shados that I think we need to see, right? Like, you get the spike down, go into defender spawn, fight back there to apply even more pressure.
Yeah, and Shados should definitely be thanking Defo and Redgar right now, because these two were so aggressive in mid. Again, you said it right, Doug, that deja vu Defo top tube, and again, he's up there. It just seems like this is rinse and repeat. Sure, it's working, but...
Well, and that's the thing. It seems like for Gambit, it's fine if you see Defo up there. We don't really care because we're going to win out that duel. We're going to drop more people there to ensure that it's not just the 1v1, that they have the numbers advantage and that they're able to trade off, and that's exactly what they do.
Yeah, so much damage taken for Gambit. They are able to top off Nats at least. And there are 2 members backside. Saucy, he's good for it. Hunter's Fury is online.
And the res as well, if there's a chance at something, maybe Sadhak can bring the fallen comrade back. GTN no longer around as the spike goes down. You see the dart is giving Redgar away. Hunter's Fury, a little dance around. Nope, really no need.
Oh,
Saucy cleans him up! What on earth was that? Fish in a barrel! Saucy gets the last. Chronicle's gonna have to go absolutely absolutely ballistic, and he's not going to get the chance. The ace for Saucy, the 7th round for Brazil.
Saucy with the blind Hunter's Fury. That was his last one as well, and he gets a double. That's 3 kills on this retake for Saucy. A 4K in total. What a fantastic round. And that was one of those wonky, weird buys as well.
Yep.
My goodness.
And Potter, we talked about it. Momentum. Look at it. That's momentum right there, right? Like, that's in its rawest form. The shifting of the tides back their way. Gambit had put together a couple of rounds. It seemed like they had finally figured themselves out and were in a position to make that a good one. And that type of play can be backbreaking.
We'll see what the response is here for Gambit. There's only a Spectre on both the duelists back here. Definitely not what you want to see. Saucy, that's some decent information, and right now the jig is up. You know, we talked about 3 rounds in a row. Gambit have been in mid. Right now there's not a single body. Viper's Pit does go down. This should be a lot of information for Vikings.
Well, and Sudicas is not going to have his, but in not having his to counter, he decides the second best way to take care of that is to just take care of Nats and drop the ultimate out from Gambit. With that, the numbers advantage in favor of Viking. You hear the Empress come through. Gambit testing the waters towards A, and you've got a setup here. You've got FRZ in a good spot to make a play.
Spy should go down. And yeah, this dart combo, it's got to mean a lot. It's got to mean everything for these Gambit guys. If they're even going to bother retaking, which at this point they kind of have to.
Sorbs coming through, Shadows creeping around the ice wall. Drops. Saucy, see if you can find some more success. It's actually GTN, and GTN with the op. Sudicas clean things up, and the ult is, or the res is going to come through as well to get Sudicas one step closer to having his Viper's Pit online. We talked about how that has kind of gone off a bit. Now Nats is not going to be able to counter. Prime Gaming Flawless out for Vikings to get them to 8. Potentially a 9-3 half.
Last round in
That's
the half.
scary scenes, Doug. You know, when I hear the Flawless Prime Gaming coming up, I immediately look at the HPs, and when I see that everyone's at 100, that scares me.
It's a bad sign.
That's a really bad sign. That's scary stuff. And for the Vikings side, they're making these retakes look damn easy, Doug. And those are challenging to do, but it just seems like they're synergized on a whole nother level right now that I actually haven't even seen Vikings ever do before.
GTN has that op, only Spectres for Gambit, and that's not the start you wanted, and it goes from bad to worse as Defo and Redgar are both sitting on the sidelines for the rest of the round. Sadak looking to add some more insult to injury. The drone's going to give away the 2 members, drop off, a shock dart there, potentially the op to boot. No, it's Sadak. GTN's Blade Storm. And the op, oh, they have no idea. Oh, they know now. Chronicle, I mean, surely. Right, yeah. What a half out from Vikings. Gambit never really had a chance at all. At least it didn't seem that way. It seemed like they never got their footing. A lackluster half for Gambit, all things considered.
Definitely lackluster indeed. Maybe they're missing a page in their strat book and they forgot one of them in that mid. It does seem like they're missing a piece. Yep. How many times did we see Defo on top tube just tucked, getting pinged by a dart, getting spammed, getting shock dart? The rest of the squad, he brought him this time. 4 members of Gambit all in mid. Didn't win a single duel.
We're going to throw it to the desk to try to really put an obituary together for Gambit, potentially, at least on Icebox. Yinsu?
What?
Put together the last 3 in the face of Gambit's seeming attempt at shifting momentum their way. Now Vikings have a chance to finish this bad boy off. Gambit on the defensive half. We'll see what they can figure out, because this, I mean, we're on the precipice of a major upset, as Bala said.
We certainly are. Now, the last time we watched both these teams playing Icebox, Vikings had a very fast A hit where Sage just kind of swatted across the rope, planted quickly into Nest, and this is a fast flank. This is a 4-man flank.
Sudicas, swing around that corner. You're about to see a lot, brother. Sadak gets the spike down. There they go. Sudicas 1, trying to duck, dive, and dodge around the bullets. Not able to do so. Takes one with him, though. One for his troubles. Nats takes care of Saucy as well, so things not looking too terrible for Gambit, but they knew where Nats was. They had to stick it to him, and they did. Shados on the tap, full control from Gambit back onto the site. That wall goes up. Shados gets it to half. FRZ not able to do much more. GTN
Don't insult me.
has to do something. GTN, you have to do something here. You can't just wait it out. You can't just wait it out. Woo! Gambit get the defuse.
Jeez Louise, what a round. A 4-man flank to start off the round. I mean, they didn't even defend A.
I mean, this happens all the time.
Yeah,
right?
it was just like, you know what, never mind. Let's just not play A side at all. Let's just get the retake going before it even starts. And they're already in the site by the time the spike is planting.
Potter, they're buying on the side of Vikings. They're buying up. They're doing a little something here. Yeah, I like this a lot. Play with some swagger, baby.
Yeah, I do feel like in this series, we've been getting these forces in these second rounds almost consistently. And I believe on Split it was that they were able to convert. GTN, he's going aggressive. He's not stopping, Doug.
Oh, there's no other way to do it. This thing only seems to have one speed, and that speed is go. The wall goes up. Sada gets the spike down. GTN still playing around. He does get tagged up. Ooh, and that's a costly death early on.
Beautiful pickup for Shados. And oh man, all 3 members of Vikings are kind of congregated. They're all stuck under the heaven here.
Do they check? Do they check? He checks, but nothing. Shados drops. Redguard does as well.
Holy.
Oh, GTN. Nats, they have to fight back there. They have to fight down. And now Nats comes up so big to get 2, but the job's not done. Sudakas, you've got to swing out here. Don't let him do it to you again. The swing out. Sudakas challenges, lands the shots, gets Viking to 10.
All 3 members, Doug. All 3 members just kind of holding hands, singing Kumbaya underneath the rafter there. You asked, are they going to check? Of course they're going to check, and they absolutely checked. But either way, Vikings, they come out on top. These guys have each other's back, and whenever things get hectic, whenever things get tough in those pressured moments, in the middle of the site, they got each other's back.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And Gambit got it close. They won that pistol, but given how the second round went off of Vikings' investment, Gambit are back down to pistols. It is 4 sheriffs, 4 of the 5. And Nats has armor to work with as well, light armor, but armor nonetheless. So Gambit are certainly not out of this one.
Look at
They
that.
stand a fighting chance. They're going. Oh, baby, they're going.
Sudakas, he's either going to have a real good time farming right now, or he's going to get 1 sheriff right here. Well, there you go. Good night.
Maybe Saucy can have some more success. 1, 2. Get third. Gets a third.
Oh,
no.
the running gun!
Yeah, Shadow said upgraded. He's able to get that. You've got Chronicle trying to cut off rotations. GTN knows that he's there. The spam's through. The shots are clean. They drop him. Still got to get the defuse. FRZ.
Beautiful.
Dancing around. The last one's there. Shadow drops. Vikings get to 11. Potter, you can feel it beginning to build. You can feel the energy in the arena starting to suck out of the side of Gambit as Brazil somehow gets louder and louder with every step they take closer to the upset.
Yeah, absolutely. I can feel the presence of that victory. It's so close for these Vikings guys. They can certainly sense it. And a beautiful round as well. I mean, as their confidence is booming, they're just getting better and better. I talked about the fact that they were singing Kumbaya under Rafter. I mean, take a look at this last round, the ping-ponging between each other. Yep. Each player taking aggro, each player taking off a shot. Again, they have each other's back each step of the way, and it's beautiful to see from Vikings.
The wall goes up. Defo and Shadows, you talk about having each other's backs. The 2-star duelists on the side of Gambit get an excellent start to this round as they find themselves at a numbers advantage. It is going to be rifles the rest of the way for both of these teams, but Gambit, they have the upper hand for now.
And Sudakas, he's going to try to find some sort of timing here in mid. I think he's got to wait just a little bit longer. Maybe his teammates towards this B main can get contact for him, but depending on how these frags go down at B main, that's going to be the opening for Sudakas potentially to make this kitchen flank work.
Oh, oof, not able to land those shots, but man, that was close.
Oh, this wall.
Redgar's ready. I think he's waiting for it. Yeah, as soon as the wall goes down, both of them swinging on that at just the right time. Vikings just down to 2 members left in the round. You've got Sadak with that res. You also have Saucy with some utility. I mean, there's a possibility to delay here long enough to potentially make something happen, but Saucy has to stay alive, right? Like, well, that was the win condition probably in the round, unless Sadak goes insane, and he's not. Chronicle gets a defuse, Gambit gets a 5. One step closer to that Hunter Fury.
One step closer, that's gonna mean a lot. That should help out, obviously, the defenses, and especially towards A, you know. All second half, we've been mainly focused towards this B besides that pistol, but one of the things that was a struggle for Gambit was their A defense. Shadows and Dreco, that sort of ping pong that we were just commending Vikings about. It's pretty difficult to play the A side, and I think that's why you're seeing most Icebox compositions always have that Jet Reyna duo combo, right? It just helps be able to actually fight for A site with those get out of jail free cards, with the dismiss and with the dash. So we'll see what kind of forward kills Shadows can get, but GTN, he finds one in mid.
Viper's pick coming through. Defo finds one as well to trade that back. So even though things didn't look exceptionally great early on, they seem to have equalized, they seem to have stabilized for now, but the Empress coming through for FRZ. The drone to clear the way. Safe passage onto the site. Only problem is you've still got Defo. Defo's back there, and he's never an easy kill.
Sadak should get the spike down here and swat back across to safety. And hang out on top of 410 here. But yeah, this is where Vikings are going to shine. I mean, this sort of post plant with all the layers that they have in the shock darts and in the sage slows.
There's a lot of ultimates here. You just heard the second Empress come online. GTN still playing around with that Blade Storm spike ticking away, but they're moving in a bunch. They're moving in a bunch, and that might be their entry in. FRZ is able to get one and drop back. Nats holds as well, but FRZ is not going down without a fight. A 1v1. Defo's so weak. He's got that Blade Storm to tap. A little shoulder given off from FRZ as Defo goes back up. Oh, the shots are there. Spike ticking away. He's gonna get away with it! He's gonna get away with it! My goodness, it was just enough time that was bought! You heard the pop-off come through as well as Vikings get to 12!
What a round from FRZ! Superstar moves, man! The dismiss is coming in right in the nick of time. The frags went down so fast in the favor of Gambit, then back towards Vikings, but it was FRZ in the mix, in the thick of things, finding one, dismissing away, repositioning, and he's able to finish out the round there with just some jiggles. And that's gotta be so frustrating if you're Defo there, not even given a chance to be able to take advantage of your amazing aim.
Gambit backs against the ropes. Defo's Blade Storm seems to be the opener. He got 2. But that's the thing, man. Vikings traded back. Through that, what looked so promising still ends up being an advantage for Vikings, but Chronicle looking to rip this thing right back into his hands. Saucy's got to go big. He's not this time around. Chronicle gets to the third. His Gambit gets a 6.
Oh, things got a little too hypey there, Doug. Things got a little too hypey there. I think GTN overheated just a little bit. Maybe there was some sort of miscons. Maybe somebody told him the A site was clear. Either way, he certainly did not want to slow down there. Just going across the rope. That's a freebie for Chronicle. That adjustment on Sudacast, though, to find that second, my God. Godlike moves. A good response, and hey, that puts a 6 on the board here for Gambit.
Well, not only that, but that also puts Viking at a pistol buy.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like every time I say that, things just go the opposite way of what you'd expect. So I won't even speak it into existence. We'll see what Gambit can do here on the defensive side. You've got a nice setup here towards B long, but the attention from Vikings is at A for now.
And Vikings, second guess. Well, it looks like we're going to see a lot of teeter-tottering here, seesawing back and forth.
Third guess? Third guess?
Perhaps.
We'll go with third guess. And the thing is, I mean, Vikings, so here's the thing, Potter. Vikings have a big lead, and they have a lot of ultimates to their name. So yeah, it's only pistols, but the ultimate economy cannot be ignored here.
No, definitely not Nats with this position. Oh, the dart, the tee up. Chronicle setting up his teammate for success. Saucy has a response. Hey, that's not bad. 3 players remaining. All the defenses of Gambit here. Vikings, they only have 30 seconds left on the clock. Spike is down, but all of a sudden, this is looking funky for Gambit.
Yeah, but they still...
I have the spike.
I mean, they have... Okay, so we've upgraded some weapons. He's got the Spike and the Hunter's Fury. But this is such a brutal setup, right? Like, you've got exactly Defo and Shados who are able to hold this tight angle.
One bullet.
And now FRZ has, yeah, 1 bullet, 5 HP, really nothing to his name at all, as Gambit are able to fend things off, at least for now, and get to 7. But the thing is, there are a couple of things to highlight there. Number 1, Vikings should be able to buy here. Number 2, for Gambit, that was not cheap, right? That was costly. They lost a couple of members along the way.
Yeah, definitely so. Not clean. Not as clean as you would want, that's for sure. But either way, a round is a round, and Gambit, they need every single round that they can get.
As one.
Healthy buy, and you mentioned it, Doug. Those ultimates, they are coming in. Chronicles got that Hunter's Fury. They've loved to go A, but it looks like they're going to default towards B while leaving Redguard back towards A.
I don't know that they're going to find a ton of room to work with here either, right? Like, between the drone, they got tagged up. The Lear was there as well. All right, so now they've been able to push off members of Gambit from that initial angle. But I do like this from Gambit, or from Vikings Potter. Silence, wait it out, have Gambit second guess what the plan is.
Yeah, oh, shock him, Defo!
It's gone right back. The Hunter's Fury's out from Chronicle, and they should know exactly where they are. It looked like a second tag. Sudakaz manages to stay alive. Numbers so heavily in favor of Gambit.
And all 3 members of Vikings are congregated towards B main here. They've got the Sage Wall. Spike could potentially go down. And we've got 3 ultimates done. This is still doable. This is still completely doable for Vikings.
Make me a believer, Vikings. Right now, things don't look great. Sadak gets the Spike down, as you said. And they do, I mean, they do have the Viper's Pit and the Hunter's Fury, but they're so heavily outnumbered. And the res comes through. All right. So much for that. A 5v4. Advantage, Gambit still. And you see Saucy is playing far back. He's got that Hunter's Fury. Potter, this very well may be it. Gambit are going to have to take the fight to their laps. Okay, you've been able to take care of 1. You haven't taken care of the biggest problem that you've got here, though. It's getting better. FRZ drops. There's the Hunter's Fury, but Sudakaz gets 2. Sudakaz gets 2. I don't know that they're going to have enough for the defuse. It's just down to Saucy, though. Shados goes right up and close. Shados gets a 3rd. Chronicle is on the defuse. Gambit stay alive for yet another round.
1 minute or 1 second. Oh my goodness, that just barely they're able to survive there. And that was a 3 versus 5, Doug. A 3 versus 5. Vikings were down 2 men. They're able to almost convert that one. I can't believe it.
And the setup was there, right? We talked about the Sova playing far back. We talked about the Hunter's Fury. Everything was there. And the thing is, Vikings had to get away with at least 1 more kill there, right? Through all of that chaos to allow the Hunter's Fury to be the difference maker. They just didn't win enough of the trades. And off of that, Gambit were able to get into his lap when they were in a 3v1 at that point, right? Like, so even through the Hunter's Fury, you can dance around that, send 1 guy to fight. That's exactly what Shados did to secure the round.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, a part of me almost feels like, oh, Sudakaz, he killed 2 in that Viper's Pit. He was going for the 3rd, and that's what ended up making them lose, right? Because if you think about it, Saucy, he had the Hunter's Fury in his back pocket the entire time. Sudakaz didn't need to overextend past his Viper's Pit to keep the diffuser honest, right? They already had Saucy to stop the diffuser. Why peek? Stay tucked, stay in your ult, make them come hunt after you. But that's just the salty me talking.
Ooh. Gambit not quite done. Not quite done at all. They've won the last 3 rounds. And what felt like was almost a done deal, right, has become much thinner ice as Gambit get to 8. Vikings still looking to somehow put them away. They've flirted with it a number of times. They just haven't been able to pull it off yet.
A broken bye coming here for Vikings. FRZ's got an ultimate to play with, and there's a Bulldog on the board, and I've seen some funkier things. But I'll tell you, a Reyna ulti with a Bulldog can do some serious damage, so we'll see if that even ever comes to play, but it's certainly on the table for Vikings to mess with if they so choose.
Shout out to the observers, man. I was just wondering, like, can he see a foot? Like, is that there? But they drop off the X-ray just at the right time to calm everyone and let them know that it's safe passage for now. You mentioned the light buy, you mentioned the Bulldog in the hands of Saucy. And for Vikings, they've gotten this far up. Ooh, the dart was so good. Woo, boy! That's not the start that Gambit wanted.
He's gonna pick up the Phantom, and he has his ultimate. Oh, this
could be problematic. He still needs a kill, though, to heal up. Oh, boy! I mean, just clotheslined. His head was ripped off. But they somehow still make this a 2v3. They're still within fighting distance. My gosh, it's coming down to a 2v2. They still just have the Sheriff and the Bulldog to their name. The spike gets picked up. Chronicle and Redgar looking to avoid this for now, looking to potentially play another round, but Vikings, they have control. They have the spike. They only have 13 seconds, so, and I don't know that they're going to be able to easily make their way towards the plant site. The dart comes through. Sudakast is tagged. The swing out from Redgar, and Chronicle does it as well to fend things off for one more round, to stay alive, to live, at least live to fight one more day.
live to fight one more day. Exactly what they needed, and beautiful, beautiful stuff. Simple, right? Chronicle, just he knows the time is on his side. It's ticking away, so he just pulls out the recon. Teeing his teammate up. Perfect alley-oop to secure the round right here. Redgar able to go across the finish line. We're on 10. Oh, no, we're on 9. GG math. We are on 9, but with how the second half started, I did not expect to be here, that's for sure.
No, I don't know that anyone did. Vikings, full buy, light armor in the hands of Saucy, but that's it. No ultimates to their name, while Gambit are much more fortunate in that they have the res and the Viper's Pit to work with. Vikings have made their way up to 410, but that's the easy part. That's the hard part that's before you.
Shadows gets pushed back by the drone. I don't think he even killed the drone there, actually. Okay, he did get it. Viper's Pit's gonna go down. This is definitely making Gambit second-guess things. Or Vikings, rather, and Sudakast just walks perfectly into Defo's crosshair there.
And it felt like that was the game plan for Vikings all along, right? Cause some noise, draw out that Viper's Pit, and then flip the map. What they didn't account for was that Defo had taken space mid with that operator and was able to take care of the person who was supposed to be cutting off the rotations. Now we're going to end things up on B, and Defo continues to be a monster for Gambit. Vikings down to 3. Bladestorm online as well, not able to land the shots. We're down to a 3v3 here. FRZ's so weak though, Potter.
Spike planted.
And FRZ does get taken out in the middle of sight, and just like that, it's all down to Saucy. He's got 2 shock darts to his name, but he's gonna have to get some incredible shots off. Chronicle just being patient as ever, waiting for Shadows to catch back up. And this should just be a 3-man simple retake for Gambit. Oh no.
Unlucky. Unlucky. I mean, it still would have been...
Still would have been challenging.
Right, it would have been a bloody miracle.
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
let's call it what it is. It would have been insane. But
Almost
that dart
a checkmate.
didn't help.
Yeah,
Almost.
yeah. Dart certainly made it a checkmate-looking scenario, but man, Gambit, all of a sudden they've just turned a different gear. And now, not only are they starting to hit shots, they're being mobile across the map, their retakes are starting to come into fruition. You're starting to see some successes coming out from Gambit that I haven't been able to say at all throughout this entire series.
And it's a really interesting thing to point out, because this is where we see the difference in teams and their mental.
Right,
Like Gambit, yes, they've been down. We've seen them down here before, and they've managed to pull it off. Vikings, do they have that mental fortitude? Do they have that experience to feel a game literally fall out from your fingertips and manage to snatch it back? Because right now, this Gambit train is full steam ahead.
Full steam ahead. Oh, I think that dart landed.
Get out of my way.
Oh, no, never mind. Defo is able to smoke it off. And full steam ahead, but things have slowed down, at least in this round. That smoke is going to cut off line of sight for Redgar. That should allow some more seesawing to happen for Vikings, but this is looking like they want to go, Doug.
No shot. Nats.
Wait.
You creepy, you ratty son of a gun. Oh, he swings out and Sadak cleans him up.
Spike is going to get planted top nest. We've seen this plant coming out from Vikings before. They love it. Their post plants at A have been pretty decent for them actually so far. So for Gambit, Redgar, he's got the res. I think they're going to want to go all left side site together as a squad and get this res off. Oh, what a shot!
Defo, there's the res. As you predicted, Potter, Defo looking for more, and they're going to continue to push the way forward. They have to avoid any sort of post-plant antics. Redgar on the defuse, gets it to have. Sudakas. Oh, Sudakas, is he going to get enough of a shot? No, he's not. Redgar gets the defuse. Gambit gets to 11.
Jeez Louise. I mean, imagine if Sudakas has one Molotov there, right? The different options that can and has been happening within these rounds, it's just insane. Just left and right, back and forth, tug and pull. If Sadak had 5 more bullets there as well in that stinger, maybe things can get even more spicy, but man.
I don't know that I can handle more spicy at this point, Potter.
You better get a glass of milk, Doug, because it's happening. We got one more round and a potential OT on the way.
Now look at this double op setup too. And they're both playing on A, and Shados and Defo. One looking up. Where, I mean, really nobody's peeking up right now. And then depending on how Sadak chooses to play this, he might have walked right into Defo's crosshair, but they both back up. And I really like this because Defo now is going to stay at A, and Shados can rotate towards B to help out if it is a B hit.
Yeah, both Sovas just trading the drone, making sure there's no weird shenanigans, no weird pushes in mid. And actually, the fact that Chronicle is able to break that drone so fast is probably making Vikings just a little bit more nervous than they want to be. But all 5 members, they're going to re-meet back towards A, and this has been it. This has been Vikings' bread and butter.
Well, I mean, the bread and the butter has not been good.
It hasn't, but at least they're getting the spike down.
That's true. That's true. We'll give them that. Vikings looking to avoid overtime here, looking to put Gambit away. Off in the hands of Defo. First shot not going to land. The slower pushes him back as well. As GTN and the rest of Vikings make their way onto the site. Different plant position here. Makes them more vulnerable to utility, but it doesn't seem to matter as the spike goes down. It's going to be a straight up 5v5 Potter for this thing, and Gambit seem to be holding up just fine as it all falls apart for Vikings. Gambit, what the heck? We're going to overtime. We're not done.
We are not done yet, Doug. Gambit do not want to lose. They do not want to go down without a fight. They're able to secure the last, and with all 4, just a pre-take on the tap.
Figured out. Now we're heading into things. Again, you see the timeline. It really kind of tells everything for you. The one real kind of benefit here for Brazil is, as you see, it was Gambit's defensive half that was so stalwart. But Gambit's attack left some to be desired. For Vikings, this might be exactly what they need.
Yeah, and I actually like this change of pace from Gambit. They are going real aggressive towards A. The drone's already been used. Oh, you can see Saucy. Oh, he's already used it, never mind. Thought he was holding on to that recon, but it's been used, and 2 defenders stuck backside here.
Wall goes up, wall goes down, and I think they saw Defo's shoelaces as he tried swinging around. Defo doesn't seem to mind. Gambit hold up just fine as Chronicle gets 3 there. And it all falls onto GTN, and GTN was never anywhere near the site. Yeah. Gambit should be able to take this lead here unless GTN just does some sort of absolutely insane performance.
Send him the energy. He's definitely wondering what the heck just happened to my team. They all died so fast. 1 versus 4. He does find Chronicle. Does a little bit of damage, but he's unable to find the kill very fast. And the spike gets taken away, Doug.
Yeah, there's just so much going against him. at this moment, and it goes from bad to worse as you saw 3 members of Gambit start to walk up towards that Viper's wall, right? Like, it wasn't just the time, it was, hey, listen, we know where you are, we're not going to let you isolate these gunfights, we're all coming at you at once.
Yeah, tough scenes, tough scenes. Chronicle, where the heck did this 3-piece come from? Okay, so he's the one that planted the spike, turns around and finds 3 kills in the back of sight for himself.
That's not bad.
That is not bad at all.
That's not bad.
Buy that man a steak dinner after this one.
Together.
He's earned it. He has certainly earned it. Really, all of Gambit have earned it to go from where they were to this point, 1 round away from finishing things off. But as we mentioned, there's still 1 round to go. Gambit on the defensive side, they looked so good. They're going to have to do it 1 more time here in overtime to put Vikings away. But the Viking squad, this is just now, really, at the end of this map is where we've seen some weakness. They've been so consistent up until now. Defo's not able to land the shots with the op, the glass cannon, and you see some of that wear already. He had no armor to keep him healthy. He drops down to 86 HP.
What a peak coming in there for Sudacast to not get picked there. Just showing just barely an elbow.
Take flight.
And he gets away with his life. That's really good information coming over here for Vikings. A good tag as well. This should give Vikings all of that B main control. You can see it there. Defo, he's forced to dash away, and the A hit. It's coming. Shadows, he's all alone.
It's impending. At this point, you wonder if there's trigger discipline, if you just wait it out, or if... Oh, he spotted 1-0-1, and he's going to be able to stay alive. He's able to dismiss the second. Shadows isn't done. Nats has shown up as well. It's all down to 2 members left on the side of Brazil to keep them alive, to keep this map going. Oh, but it goes from bad to worse. It's all over. Chronicle gets the last. The Masters 3 winners go from obituary to rebirth as they take care of Vikings and move on to the quarterfinals.
Wow.